Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about letting go and moving on. And unfortunately, there's a bunch of fucking sunlight right behind me here. That's really affecting how I look. I almost look angelic in a weird way with my crazy cowboy hat, which both my siblings said it was a falconer hat. So, not like I was. The only thing I needed was like the little cuff thing for my arm to have the bird land on. So, I don't know. It's whatever. So yeah, I got like more clarity today after the whole thing happened yesterday is what it was. And so apparently my sister, I think really what it was is she really just needed a good night's sleep is what it was. And I think she finally got that last night at the motel that her and my brother were staying at together. And because she came back with a clear head this morning, and as of yesterday, it was basically she was telling me like, oh yeah, you're gonna have X amount of time here, and then I'm gonna call some movers, and they're just gonna toss everything. And then I was talking to her, and I think some of it too was the fact she talked to my cousin as well. He said he was helping me out with some of the cleaning. Here's what it is. And so the new plan essentially is going to be her to come back up in like a week and a half, give or take, with one of her friends, and then they're going to go into the closet here that's in the other bedroom, behind this door, I should say. Going from this room right here, if you go directly into the bedroom door there is a closet like right around the corner there, and they're essentially it's full of mom's clothes, obviously, and her and her friend are going to take care of that and basically decide what needs to be sold, what maybe needs to be tossed, and if the aunts will want anything of mom's, because they were similar sizes, obviously. Or there might be a couple things in there that were smaller than mom was when she passed, so it could be a situation where they might fit them or whatever. Thankfully, I was told that today mom's little wheeler thing that she got a couple months before her passing, and that was probably maybe a month and a half before she went to the hospital. Which obviously was her triple bypass she ended up having there. That eventually, supposedly killed her, but as we all know, what really killed her was a piece of shit DeWine's Maximilian. So a little bit of that basically. But anyway, I really wish I could see that motherfucker into the ground for murdering my mother, but I can't. So there is that. But he'll get his eventually, because if I become governor of the state in a year and a half, he'll be in jail in the first days of my governorship, honestly, and so will John Casey, for that matter, for all the criminal shit they did in office in the last 10 years or so. So, anyway. But, anyways, so yeah, basically, the new plan now is basically have her come back with a friend, my aunt come over at one point when they're here, they can all go over and do some stuff is what it is. In the meantime, my plan for pretty much the rest of today and most likely tomorrow will be leading into Tuesday, and then I'm going to go vote on Tuesday, obviously, for the upcoming primaries here. And then after I get home that day, or actually leading up to that, I'll probably do some stuff, and then, because I'm not going to vote until later that day is what it is, so probably do some stuff while I'm whatever, and then, get ready to go vote, and then do whatever then, and then come back here and probably just, nod off or whatever then for a while, since it's going to be like 6 o'clock or so probably by the time I get back to the house then. That afternoon / evening. So yeah, my plan right now is basically finish clearing out this area that's right next to me over here. I'm going to eventually do this side over here where my mic is sitting right now. And I was actually thinking about maybe just doing that today for that matter. And because I realize right now, like 2 of the boxes that I have sitting over here, while they're okay boxes, they really don't have much of anything in them, except like old Tupperware shit when I was salesman for that company, which is a lot of like ads and stuff like that. So what I might actually do is because they're still decent boxes is what it is. Like they could easily be, like truthfully, at least one of them could be used for a lot of my MTG stuff right now. So what I might do is I might just clear out one of these, or maybe both of them actually for that matter. Put the MTG shit in that one, and then maybe put those into another box. Would that be the case? If that makes any sense. And then have like something else in with the side of those, and it would just be like it would just be like boxes and boxes essentially, or even just like have these be like boxes on top of boxes kind of thing is what it is then. And then from there, it's basically my plan for the upcoming week then, which will be going out to the dining room there and start just sifting through stuff, because I know there's a bunch of canned goods out in the one bin out there that I may or may not want to take with me or eat for that matter at all, because I know some of it was stuff Mom liked, and there's certain things that she loved that I did not like at all. So it might be stuff like that where it's either, being given to the siblings or, being donated. Like they donated some food yesterday is what it was. That was a lot of like peas and shit like that I wouldn't eat is what it was. So, and then the plan right there is basically going through a lot of Mom's stuff out there, starting to put it in boxes, figuring out what thing to go right there is what it is. I know she had a lot of needle and thread around here. I see. I'm looking right behind me here. I'm looking past there where the microwave's sitting right now, and there's a big old spool thing that looks like needles and threads and stuff in it. So I'll probably take that with me eventually, because I've noticed with a lot of my shirts lately, like there's holes like in this one right here. There's a little hole right there that I could probably take like some needle and thread and repair it or whatever the case be somehow. But I guess a snag hole basically, where I got snagged up on something and it just tore what it was there. So, but anyway, plus I would like to have some of that stuff just to having like potentially a bug out bag, essentially what it is, in case shit goes south and you need to. Because all the thing people don't realize, man, is like, as a man, you should know how to sew / stitch, because if you can sew, you can stitch, and if you can stitch, you can stitch up wounds and shit. So that is one skill set that every person should have that's a guy, is like sewing / stitching ability. And I would say the same thing with women too, for that matter. Like that's one thing I've noticed a lot in the prepper community and stuff like that, and the 2A community and stuff like that as well, that people don't tend to have that in their repertoire in a lot of cases, is the ability to sew up stuff or stitch stuff is what it is. Because if you can do that, you're better off, dude. And hell, if you even have the skill set to like crochet and stuff, which I know Mom has a bunch of yarn around here, I'm going to take some of it with me anyway and start crocheting stuff, and most likely what's going to happen there. You can potentially crochet a blanket if you needed to out of like yarn. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be the warmest of all things, whatever, but it could be like a liner or something. Or, God forbid you have, a kid and grid down and stuff like that. It could potentially be a situation where you need to have like something for them to like, be bundled up in, and there you go. You got like a whole like little yarn like onesie or something like that. / like blanket thing you can like, slip them into to like sleep and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a whole thing, but I think it's a smart skill set to have. It's one of those things that definitely, post, and especially for that matter, like, post collapse and stuff, dude. Like, it's not like you're just going to have like stores and stuff just come back all of a sudden. You're going to have stuff go back to what it was in the 1800s and shit like that, where people were mending clothing and making their own clothing and stuff like that. So yeah, like the skill sets to have would be, like I said, sewing, stitching, hell, running a sewing machine for that matter would be a good thing to have. Like, I'm not talking about one of the modern day ones either for that matter. I'm talking about like one that you could do with your foot or whatever. Like, have that kind of sewing machine and know how to work that thing is what it is, and you're good to go then. Or in the same vein of things, like a loom and stuff like that would be a good thing to have as well. Because you could do like looms and stuff. You can actually make like a lot of clothing that way too. Ironically, that's how a lot of the third world stuff that we have coming in this country right now is made. I was actually watching a video the other day. It was a bunch of people in, I forget if it was Sri Lanka or if it was some part of India. It's one of those two countries. But yeah, it was a bunch of dudes that were taking silk, and they were showing how to do from silkworm all the way to like a piece of clothing. And it was pretty cool, actually. very labor intensive for sure. And that's another thing people are not going to realize, dude, is like that's one thing I always love about when people talk about like the whole rice and beans thing. It's like, oh yeah, I got all this rice and beans, whatever the case be, dude. It's like you realize how much that you're gonna have to eat every day just to sustain, right? Like doing manual labor every day, like push grid down, man. It's gonna be a fucking pain. I mean, hell, I remember hearing stories and stuff like that of dudes who would literally there would be ice being delivered back in the 1800s and stuff like that. I think this was actually shown in the movie Thousand Ways to Die in the West, where you'd have people delivering ice or whatever and be like 8, 10 guys trying to pull it off the thing or whatever. And sometimes, yeah, the shit slipped or whatever. It like broke its, whatever it was being held up by, whether it be rope or whatever there. And it would just slip and kill some guys, what it is then. So it's a lot of crazy shit like that, man. So the fact that people were like thinking they're going to survive and stuff like that is, I think, a moot point, honestly, unless you can survive past the first year is what it is. Like, yeah, you might be able to survive, like, 7 days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is there. Or should say 7, 8 days to, like, 2 weeks or whatever there. But, like, when it's all said and done, you're going to be able to survive, like, the shit we see in Haiti right now, where they have little fucking cannibal gangs catching people, beating them in the streets, and then eating them. Because if you're not prepared for that shit, man, you need to be right now. So, it's just about to get crazy in this country, man. I know I'm not in the best of shape, but I can definitely shoot. So, I have a few other skill sets to provide for that matter as well on top of that. So, actually, I saw a funny one the other day, and it was talking about, it was to women or whatever, and it's like, ladies, is the man you're currently involved with a Mad Max dictator type in the future? Or no, that's not how it was said. It was that's what it was. It was, do they have the ability to be a warlord in like a Mad Max type of future? I think I do, honestly, truthfully speaking. My thing is I rule with a fucking iron fist too, for that matter. And I would not be afraid to get my hands dirty either, for that matter. I wouldn't be somebody like let's go talk about Walking Dead for a minute, actually. Because there's a lot of people in there that got, their hands dirty, and other people didn't really. I would be somewhere between Negan and probably the governor. Or actually, not really the governor per se, but like more like a Pamela type of like, hey, we're gonna do this kind of thing, but then I'd also be willing to get my hands dirty like a Mercer type or like a fucking, Negan type, whatever the case be then. So I know Eddie and them were talking last night about that new Walking Dead series with Michonne and Rick in it. And Matt thought it was a Commonwealth. It was actually CRM he was talking about the whole time. I was actually thinking about this too because I feel like, truthfully, I know in the comics, Maggie specifically, at the end of the thing, whole thing there, she had actually taken over the Commonwealth. And it was like years and years down the road in the comics. And it was her creating like more communities and like a bigger, outpost sets and stuff like that is what it was there. And I feel like somewhat CRM is kind of like that right now is what it is. Where they have kind of created that mindset, but the problem is with them, they are also psycho as fuck. And are willing to protect their own, like, at all costs, basically. Including, like, killing people for, just random bullshit. Like it's the episode the other day. Where they were dropping fucking, I forget what kind of gas it was on people. Like chlorine gas or something. Just to, like, kill this group that was, like, getting too close to the location when they were, like, states over is what it was. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. So, yeah, like if you're willing to go that route, like you're pretty much insane. But like, I feel like that's the thing that people like that would eventually get their comeuppance is what it is. But you also don't want to be the guy who's looked at as like weak and shit. Like that's what it is. Like it's kind of like the whole Sun Tzu thing, the art of war shit like that, where it's if you're weak, you look strong. If you're strong, you look weak, kind of thing. And that way, your opponent doesn't really know you and can't really judge you, or whatever the case be. Because if they judge you the wrong way, like it can come back to haunt them at the end of the day. Because you could easily like be like take them out or something like that. Or if nothing else, like maybe you are weak or whatever the case be, but you got like people who are very strong among you is what it is then. And like I said, for me personally, like, yeah, technically I need medication to keep going eventually is what it is, just because, debilitating pain and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, if I, like, here's my thing, right? Like, if I had like a fucking, like let's say we're in grid down right now. It's like 27 days in the grid down, whatever the case be. And I'm like to the point of like almost crippled in bed kind of deal is what it is there, but I'm still able to go a little bit here and there. And I happen to come upon like, I don't know, an old dispensary or something like that. That's still got a shitload of weed in it. You know what I'm gonna fucking do? I'm gonna go grab a backpack or something that I have with me, some kind of bag. Probably a bag out of my bag, I guess. That I could like fold apart or whatever, and just like grab a fucking shit ton of weed and just toss it in there is what it is then, man. And find like rolling papers or whatever then too for that matter. And have the ability to, roll a joint or whatever the case be, or if they had like some bowls or something there, have swipe some bowls and stuff like that, maybe a lighter or two for that matter. And yeah, I'd just be like immediately, and then pain relief would come obviously, and it would be not a big issue then if that be the case then. So if I have a steady supply of something like that on me and stuff, like I'm better off as what it is then. Like I wouldn't really need the meds is what it'd be then, because I would naturally be able to heal through actual medicinal meds is what it is then. And that's the biggest problem right now with our country currently is it's like you have so many of these current politicians that are, your Pelosi types and your Schumer types and stuff like that from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, etc., who are all in Big Pharma's pocket right now. And that's why they're always pushing, big pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that forward instead of actually being like, yeah, we are pro-weed and stuff like that. And it's unfortunate, too, that you got people like Frank LaRosa trying for U.S. Senate right now, who is the same way. Like, he's anti-weed because he has literal ties to fucking Anheuser-Busch in this state right now, the state of Ohio. So, that being said, he's also, of the three guys that are on there, between him, Bernie Moreno, and Matt Dolan, he's the only decent one that actually is pro-2A, like, all the way, as far as I'm able to tell there, because I looked into that guy quite a bit, actually, recently. And I know LaRosa, like, when he was a state senator and stuff like that here in Ohio, some years back now, he never voted against Second Amendment stuff. He was always pro-2A and stuff like that on the voting record. Meanwhile, you got Marino, 4.5 years ago talking about, oh, we need to do some background checks. Nobody needs a fucking 100 bullets at a time because you don't know a goddamn thing about fucking Second Amendment, Bernie Marino, you fucking asshole. And the fact that Trump came here last night to endorse your fucking dumbass again was like the biggest slap in the fucking face to everybody in the state, honestly. The same thing with Kristi Noem. Like, he literally dragged Kristi Noem in the whole thing, dude. It's like, what the fuck, Kristi? Like, are you eyeing a Trump VP nomination at this point? That's what it feels like, honestly. It would make sense on that one, for that matter, that why she would be, with Trump at the time, or whatever the case be then, when she's the South Dakota state governor is what it is there. So, anyway. But yeah, to me, it's just fucking ridiculous entirely, dude. And it's like, I feel like Marino needs to apologize to everybody at this point, dude, and be sincere about it, because that's the only way he's ever getting my vote, which he's not getting my vote right now is what it is. And I'll tell you what, if it came to the point where it was him versus Sherrod Brown in fucking November, I'd vote a third person at this point, honestly. I really would, including myself for that matter. I'd get myself on the ballot then for that race as like a third-party candidate or something like that. So, anyway. Because, yeah, Sherrod Brown should be in Ohio prison right now. Marino is just as much of a fucking jackass from his comments years ago, and still has yet to actually come out and be like, oh, what I said was a stupid fucking thing is what it is. Because it was, dude. That's the whole point. Like, and that's the one thing. You don't joke about constitutional rights, bro. Like, if there's one, actually, sorry. There's two things you don't joke about: people's constitutional rights, children being murdered, especially in the fucking womb. Because that's one way to get your ass kicked in the fucking streets, honestly. By people that you think are your fucking voter base is what it is then. So, anyway. But yeah, that being said, though, yeah, Marino's a fucking idiot, though. I really don't think he has what it takes to beat Sherrod Brown anyway, dude. Legitimately. I'm not sure Frank LaRose does either, for that matter, but I think he'd be better than fucking Bernie is what it is then. So, but yeah, it's just a bunch of shit entirely, dude. I feel like, honestly, with Bernie's comments years ago, it's like, tell me you know fuck all about the Second Amendment without telling me you know fuck all about the Second Amendment, bro. Because that's what it feels like, honestly. I mean, the guy's a used car salesman, for God's sakes, people. Like, wake the fuck up. He's going to tell you what you need to hear. He's going to fucking fillet your fucking cock as much as possible. And at the last second, he's going to sit there and fucking fuck you in the ass is what it is then. You know, seriously. I'm not saying LaRose isn't going to be the same thing for that matter. I've never voted for Frank LaRose at this point, honestly, in my life or anything, but doesn't mean there's not a first time for everything at this point, man. Because I'm sure shit not voting Matt Dolan's bitch ass in there. That guy should be in a hot prison too, for that matter. Like, truthfully, honestly, if you're looking at things right now, Sherrod Brown and Matt Dolan should both be sharing a prison cell right now for anti-2A shit they've done in this country, breaking their own office what it is then. Marino, just for his comments, should probably be joining them at this point, honestly, at some point in the future. And then, yeah, you got Frank LaRose is like the fourth guy there is what it is, who has always been pretty steadfast. He, you know, obviously a bunch of Ohioans are giving him shit still because of the whole August election last year, which wouldn't need to happen if these fucking goddamn piece of shit anti-gun, baby-killing fuckers didn't push their fucking abortion crap onto our ballots, what it is. Which, by the way, I still don't understand how in the fuck was that even allowed to be on the fucking ballot at all, dude? When it literally defies Article 1, Section 1 of the Ohio Constitution for life, liberty, property. Why is there not a lawsuit right now from any pro-life group in the state, in this country right now, to immediately block that from ever becoming a law in the state, dude? When it directly defies our First Amendment and our first article of our state constitution is what it is there. Not to mention the fact that when you even look at the U.S. Constitution, it has the same stuff in it. It's like it's sort of a preamble to the First Amendment is what it is there, about life, liberty, property as well in that one. But yeah, like you have an established piece of legislation on the books for, you know, almost 2 fucking centuries since Ohio was first made in the 1800s. That is what it was. And yet you're going to sit here and tell me that these fucking assholes can come in, you know, 200 something years later and just be like, oh yeah, we're just going to override that entirely because fuck your laws. Fuck you, get the fuck out of my state, cunts. So, anyway. I still maintain that, again, that this is the one gripe we'll give about Frank LaRose if I vote for the man on Tuesday, which I don't know if I'm going to or not right now. But I might just leave the shit blank, honestly, for all I know right now, for that particular race. And the thing of it is, though, is with LaRose entirely, there is so much fucking voter fraud that this man has not investigated as Secretary of State right now. It's ridiculous. Like that's one of your that's pretty much your entire job to do, man, is to investigate voter fraud as Secretary of State is what it is there. And when I'm literally calling your fucking office and being like, hey, here's reports of this shit. Hey, here's, you know, hell, I called the guy up like fucking almost a year ago now. Because there was fucking leftist college kids that don't even live in the state. Obviously, they're going to a state college, but technically they can't vote here because they don't have voting rights in the state of Ohio. Is what it is. They're literally voters in another state. Is what it is there, because that's where their primary address would be. Is what it is. And the thing is, though, they're sitting there bragging about illegally voting in our fucking elections and stuff for this kind of shit, dude. Yet it's not being investigated. It's like, why, bro? Come on, Jesus fucking, like, how hard is that to do your fucking job? Like, do I literally have to walk into your office and hand you this giant stack of paperwork from 2018 midterms of, hey, here I went to fucking 47 different cemeteries in the state of Ohio in the last month or two. Here's all the fucking dead people who've been dead since like the 1920s who all voted for fucking Sherrod Brown in 2018, dude. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be super people work like that or whatever the case may be. I guarantee fucking to you there's people that have died in the 70s, 80s, etc. there that voted Sherrod Brown 6 years ago, dude. That have been literally laying in a fucking cemetery for decades that are voting Democrat. Like, voter fraud is real, people. Wake the fuck up about that shit. I mean, hell, we saw it recently there in Texas. You had some woman who was running for, I forget what office it was there, went to go vote, and then found out somebody else had voted in her fucking place. Literally using her fucking name to vote and shit, dude. So, yeah, like, there's obviously voter fraud going on across this country, and them is being investigated right now. Like, I would honestly say, truthfully, until that can be, you know, summed up and stuff like that, until it can be rooted out and shit like that, we shouldn't be having elections in this country at all right now, dude. And that would include literally going back, arresting Biden and Kamala for stealing 2020. A bunch of Democrats, too, for that matter, did the same thing. Sure, Brown was stealing the 2018 midterms there for U.S. Senate and stuff like that. Removing all these fuckers from office entirely. Installing their opponents that should have won is what it is there. And then simply having those people be in office for X amount of time then until we can actually solve voter fraud issues it'll be then, dude. And I guarantee if we had 4, 5, 6 years of that shit, you know, we could actually have our stuff solved at that point then. And the states that don't want to actually solve it, guess what? You don't have fucking representation anymore in this country, motherfuckers. It's as simple as that then. Whether that be California or Pennsylvania or New York, whatever the case be, dude. It's like when you're sitting there telling us you're going to give illegals licenses to vote and shit like that, and guess what, fuckers? You don't have voting rights in the state anymore, or you don't have voting rights to the federal level anymore is what it is then. Your electoral college votes don't fucking matter anymore is what it is then. Your states are null and void now because you don't have any congressmen coming from them. You don't have any U.S. senators coming from them. Fuck off. And we become like a 30-something states initiative then of just good people is what it is then, dude. And we'd be way better off as a country then. That bacon follow-up on that sausage was so good, man. My cousin's supposed to come over here at some point in a little bit to help me do some stuff and take some more stuff out of the basement and whatnot. He's apparently snagging a bunch of candy jars that are down there, which makes sense because, you know, I didn't realize they were down there, honestly. It's not like I don't want a can, but at the same time, it's like, I know I don't have the room here anymore. And not only that, but it's also the process to do it. It would take so fucking long and just be such a pain in the ass to do it myself or whatever the case be. It's more than a one-man job, I'll tell you that right now. It's at least a 2 or 3 person job, honestly, to do it and do it, you know, quality and whatnot. Well, also depending on what you're doing too, for that matter, because some of you can do like a 1 person job depending on how many you're doing and whatnot, and what you're actually, you know, canning, whether it be like pickles or some kind of peppers or whatever the case be or something like that. But yeah, like if you're doing it like, you know, like massive scale stuff, like, you know, a bunch of relish or whatever the case be, like that's a whole group of people then. That's why whenever the family got together back in the day, it was we would go down to the farm and what it was, and it would be mom and all of her sisters down there. And it'd be like 4 or 5 women. There would maybe be one coming in from out of state, honestly, for that matter. And maybe a couple of cousins too, for that matter, down there. And it'd be like, you know, 6, 8 women in the kitchen there is what it'd be then. And I think sometimes my brother was there too, for that matter. And maybe one of the other guys too as well, for that matter, like one of the husbands or something like that. And yeah, there'd be like, you know, about 10 people or so, give or take, going through the stuff and doing whatnot, and like, you know, wiping down jars and making sure everything was good to go, washing everything out, making sure it was all, you know, pristine and ready to roll then, and, you know, being prepped for, you know, dumping the shit in there is what it was. And then we'd have, you know, 6, 7 hours later, just all be sitting out in the living room or whatever there, and you would just hear pop, 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 because everything would be popping then. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. I miss those days, man. I really do. I haven't gone fishing down there in over 2 years now. Something I really want to do, but obviously it's like yesterday would have been a good, decent day to do it. Today it's looking kind of iffy right now. Well, at least it was this morning. It was looking kind of dank when my brother and sister left, actually. And then I know it was supposed to be chances of rain today, and I know tomorrow we're supposed to, there's been talk of getting fucking snow or something now, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, Ohio, like knock it off. I don't want damn winter, damn it. Let's see. News breaking. Russia sees polling station protest as Putin set to extend long rule. Yeah, apparently he's going to win the thing again to be, you know, sort of a dictator, I guess is what you call it at this point. Makes sense. Makes sense for him to be installed again there. Yeah, 21 hours ago. Governor Kathy Hochul deploys National Guard amid safety issues in New York subway. Fucking stupid bitch. Yeah, and then what did she do immediately after that? She took away their fucking long guns, and then shocker, like a day or two later, some guy got shot in the fucking head in the place. And yeah, she's bitching about like, oh no, it had nothing to do with me taking away the guns. I said, did you stupid bitch? So, this is not good. U.S. patient died from bubonic plague. Raising concerns. Yeah, I would hope so, man, because, and like I said, well, I love how it says U.S. patient, because I guarantee this guy's not from the U.S. is what it is, man. Dude looks fucking Middle Eastern as shit, honestly. At least in the one picture they're showing there. But no, the whole point is, though, it's like, it's not Americans catching this fucking shit, dude. It's third worlders coming over to our country and spreading it among their fucking crews of people. It's like I said last episode, it's people fucking eating rats in New York City on the streets there and shit, dude, grabbing them off the subways and shit like that. These big ass rats look like the size of fucking cats, honestly, for God's sakes. No joke, for real, man. Like there are rats that are fucking gigantic, dude. In fact, I'm gonna go see if I can find a video of one right now. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. God damn, dude. Okay, this is Huffington Post that was talking about some of the New York City rat sizes. Yeah, look what I'm talking about here, man. This shit is fucking nuts, bro. Look how fucking big some of these motherfuckers are, man. Legitimately, they're the size of fucking big ass cats or small dogs, even for that matter. Damn things are gigantic, man. Yeah, let's see. 3-foot rat found in New York City subway here. Sorry, New York City shoe shop. Good God. God damn, bro. Holy fuck. Damn. That thing is huge. Yeah, it's the size of a fucking dog, dude. For real. Way bigger. That's even bigger than a fucking cat in some cases. Holy hell, man. Jesus. That shit's scary as fuck, man. Yeah, and like even like this motherfucker right here, like this guy. I'm assuming this is a cop or somebody. Yeah, things like the size of a fucking hand at least, bro. Like, damn, dude. Like, yeah, that would make a pretty good burger, honestly. Probably just one of them. If I'm like Demolition Man style, I'm being honest, dude. Like, it really only take one, honestly, bro. Hell, you might be able to cut the motherfucker in half and make 2 burgers out of it, for that matter. So, you know, not that I want to eat fucking rat burgers. Obviously, I don't. Like, that's the whole point. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, between that and the fucking bugs, like, shit, man, you're damn if you don't at this point, man. Just like Matt giving everybody shit about, like, Don't eat the fucking lobster and shrimp because they're all fucking sea bugs. Fuck you. Like, seriously, dude. I'll eat whatever the hell I want, motherfucker. And here's the thing. I don't give a fuck if a fucking lobster or a fucking, shrimp, whatever the case be, is like DNA connected to fucking cockroaches or something like that, dude. Guess what? They're fucking delicious. I'm not going to say you eat cockroaches, though, obviously, because number one, they don't get fucking huge like that. And number two, they probably taste like shit even if they did, honestly, would be my guess. Because they won't be seasoned properly or whatever then. But yeah, like, there's people that have survived on stuff for decades, dude. I mean, hell, look at Louisiana, for God's sakes, dude. They do fucking crawdad boils there all the time is what it is. You don't see them people bitching about them sea bugs. No, that's their fucking cuisine for the most part, man. I really want some gator, though, one of these days. Like, that is one thing I would, like, truthfully, with everything going on right now, if this country wouldn't fall or whatever, I would love to go visit, like, a couple different states for, like, a month or so. Like, just do, like, I don't know, maybe like a 4-state thing or something like that, or like a time span of like a month or something, where I stay in each one for like a week or something like that, what it is. And just go check out fucking Louisiana and stuff like that, and just go to someplace down there, whatever the case be, just get some good, local seafood cuisine, some gator, some fucking, whatever the case be there. Maybe have a crawdad boil or something like that, what it is there. Because it just sounds good, man. Like, plus I've never had gator, so if nothing else, basically make friends with somebody down there that I know could like maybe smoke a gator or something like that, and do like a cool like smoker thing or whatever the case be, and just have like some good like smoked gator tail or something like that, or like some jelly roll, whatever it is there. I know there was one guy actually on YouTube I saw years ago who was talking about it, and he was talking about smoking this stuff, and I guess it's like the jowl meat or whatever there is also like super, super tender, like filet mignon or something like that. And it's like, bro, like I kind of want to try that now. Like, as he described it, if it can be done correctly, like I would love to try that, honestly, because it does sound really good. So, and I know there was some guy in I think it was Florida the other day was fishing and ended up getting his fucking hand bit off by a gator, dude. And it's like, dude, it's fucking Happy Gilmore in real life at that point, kind of, because it was at a fishing course, obviously. Or, sorry, not fishing course. It was at a golf course. And it was a pond at a golf course is what it was, where the guy was fishing at. And gator came up and just wrapped his fucking hand off and stuff. And it's like, again, this is why you carry fucking guns while you're fishing in Florida, people. Or any state that has big-ass fucking animals like that, whether it be gators or big-ass snakes or fucking, wild boar and shit like that, like Texas does, obviously. I mean, hell, there's places here in Ohio that are down near the Ohio, West Virginia border there. There's a couple of counties down that area that have wild boredom, dude. And you're damn right if I'm going to go out in the backwoods and like do some bushwhacking and stuff like that to get to a pond or something like that. Fucking hell, I'm going to have a gun on me. Probably multiple guns, actually, for that matter. Because you never know if one's going to be enough or not, dude. Hell, it might be something where the fucking the boar tries to gore your ass or something like that. You end up dropping your gun or whatever the case be, you can't find it. So you have to pull out another one and just be like ding, 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 a bunch of times, whatever the case be then. So, like that one crazy ass video a couple of years back when it was the dude was out hunting. I'm not sure if he was hunting. I don't think he was hunting wild boar, actually, for that matter. I think he was hunting something else is what it was, though. But then again, you had that stupid ass 3-shell fucking limit crap is what it was, dude, and the shotgun he had. And he's just like, don't, and like, I think the last one like may have hit the fucking boar, but it still like was goring at his ass, and he's just like he's like taking the gun, he's like trying to like smack it with the fucking barrel of the gun and shit to like kill it. And it's like, that's where you need a fucking bayonet on that gun, dude, or something. Jesus. So, or be able to like reload as fast as fucking possible, whatever the case be then, and just like pop 2 more rounds in there, whatever the case be, just be like, etc. there. So, but yeah. I'd love to be able to travel. It'd be nice. But then again, at the same time, it's like I don't really want to waste all the money I would get from the house sales it'll be, though. So, because it's got to last me for some years now, is what it would be, is until we can at least get, something going, whether it be disability or finding like actual gainful employment that would actually be able to do the job is what it is then, and not have to really worry about my back pain and everything else like that then. So, or if nothing else, I could just hit the lottery, hopefully one of these days soon, and want to sell a place at all is what it is then. And then I could actually just take money from that then as well, and do what my dream was all the time, was as growing up as kids, what it was then, which is literally to my own independent wrestling company and just be an owner slash promoter is what it is then. And maybe get in the ring once in a while, it'll be then. Because if it was, like I said, if I was like 20 years younger and never had the body peeling at 18 and stuff like that caused all my health issues now, I would definitely want to get in the ring again right now. I always want to get in the wrestling business. I always want to get in the ring and perform and stuff like that. But at the same time, now it's like I am so broken down at 39 years old. I know I couldn't go. And I know the first fucking hit I took against the mat, I'd probably knock it back up. Is what it is, man. I'd probably just be like, call the medics. So, and people would just be throwing up X's and shit like that. And they'd be like, he's fucking hurt for real, man. And they're like, bro, it's just a shoulder tackle. And I'm like, man, my back is fucked up right now. So, yeah. I make jokes, but in reality, it is true. Honestly, I probably would fuck my back up pretty bad doing that. But yeah, I definitely need to get back into shape, though. It's one thing Mom always got on me about in the last couple of years of her life was like, you know, oh, we need to lose weight. Like she was always saying, oh, we need to lose weight. You know, not just you. I need to lose weight too, kind of thing. And then at the end there, she lost a lot of weight. You know, like she dropped like 35 pounds or something like that in the month or so that she was in the hospital there. And yeah, just terrible, dude. And like I said, I got pictures on the phone of her wake and stuff, and I don't know, man. Like, I understand they had to do makeup because of her, you know, decay and stuff like that, like sort of, you know, balance out the decaying process and stuff like that's what it was. But like, she looked nothing like I remembered. And I even said to my sister, I was like, "That's not Mom." And my sister was like, "I know Mom's in heaven right now with Dad." And yeah, it's one of those situations, man, where it's like, you know, it gets at you. It does get at you. God, I miss that woman. I think this thing that saddens me the most, honestly, is like I always wanted to give her grandkids, and I never got a chance to do that before her death. And as it was, when she died, she only had technically one biological grandchild, which was my niece. I mean, my nephew, you know, technically is. I mean, we looked at him like he was, but I mean, he's not biological, is what it is. It's his mom had a relationship with another guy, and that's his biological father, and then my brother is his stepfather, is what it is then. So, but he treats the kid obviously like he's his own because pretty much, you know, growing up, that child didn't really have a father, and my brother stepped up when he was, you know, when he started dating my sister-in-law, and yeah, that boy is pretty much my brother's pretty much the only father that boy's ever known, and he's been there for him. He's done things for him. He's helped him out as best he can, and he seemed to raise him right, honestly, for the most part, anyway. So, just sucks to know that, like, you know, I mean, I love my fucking, you know, I would just love the ability to have a couple kids before Mom passes, what it was. But that's the thing. I feel like, you know, Big Pharma stole it from me, is what it was, dude. Fucking stupid medications that I couldn't sue over, you know, because it was all fucking side effect shit that caused the whole thing. And it's like, if I could have, like, you know, like I would have been in so much better shape right now. If I would have never taken that shot, I would have been in so much better shape right now. Like, you know, I can only think of like, and I would love the ability to be like that movie, The One, where I could end up in a. Oh, it's my sister calling me. She probably got back to the place. Yep, this is my sister calling to say, oh yeah, she's back in Columbus now, so that's good. Means my brother's probably like 20 minutes away or so from getting home then, if that be the case, since you dropped her off at her place then. The way it sounded like, well, she just got out the door probably, so yeah, I'm guessing he's at least another 15 minutes to 20 minutes away from his place then, if that be the case. So, anyway. They made good time though, because they left at like 11:30, I think, maybe. I'm trying to think now. No, it might have been like I'm trying to think now because it was 10. They came over here about 10:30 and they left at 11:15 maybe, 11:20, some blessing there. Yeah, sounds about right. So yeah, they only took them about 2 hours 20 minutes. That's not too bad. Although to be fair, if they didn't stop to go to the bathroom or anything like that, it cuts out time obviously. But that was the one thing them coming up with me all the time, dude. It's like, whoo, buddy, I'll tell you what, like my legs can't go in a car ride for more than like an hour or so. Well, depending on the car, obviously too, for that matter. And it's like, when you're in those cramped ass CRV seats and shit like that, it's like, nah, bro, like, I need to get out and stretch my legs now and take a bathroom break now, kind of thing. And it's like, usually it was about the halfway mark between Columbus and up here in Canton area. So, yeah, we would always stop in, like, usually like Belleville or something like that is what it was down there, which is a pretty nice town, actually. It was a bunch of good people down there, and they had some pretty good bathrooms, a couple different places down there. The main, I think it was a Marathon gas station down there, wasn't great. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you this Marathon story right now. That's on the top of my head right now. Literally one of the most disgusting bathrooms I've ever been in my entire life, dude. Except for McDonald's bathroom. Wait, no, it was McDonald's, Burger King, maybe. I think it was maybe Burger King, where they had not cleaned up anything, and it was like literally some dude, like I don't know if it was a guy doing it or if it was a girl doing it or what it was, dude, but it looked like they literally like bent over and just started pissing all over the fucking walls and the fucking all like literally like fucking like that much piss was on the fucking floor pretty much. Like you could stack a fucking roll of quarters part way up and it'd be enough pee on the fucking ground to like saturate that shit. It was disgusting, dude. But that was the drive-through. That was the fast food place though. The place I'm talking about, though, is this Marathon gas. I think it was Marathon gas station down there is what it was. And, yeah, like, somebody had gone into that bathroom. And, dude, oh, my fucking God. Like, they left the biggest, most disgusting shit I have ever fucking seen in my entire... Like, my family's giving me shit about some of the shits I've took and haven't flushed properly. This motherfucker left, like... Ugh, like I had to literally leave the fucking bathroom and go to another stall and then go out to the fucking front and complain to the workers that, dude, y'all need to go in there and clean that fucking nasty shit up because it is disgusting. And one of them did go back there and do it then, actually. So, but yeah, it was some, like, like the smell, like, just hit you and it's like, oh my God, like, I gotta be the fuck out of here right now, dude. Like, it was so bad. It was so fucking bad. But no, there was a McDonald's like pretty close to that Marathon though, like up the hill a little bit there, and they actually had some very clean bathrooms in that place. We would go there usually and get most of the time it was just going to the bathroom, but there were some times we would stop and get a drink from there too as well when we were in the place. It was like, oh yeah, you want to grab like a, and that was back when they had like supersized stuff, whatever the case be, and we're like, oh yeah, cool. So for that dickhead Morgan Spurlock did that stupid ass fucking Supersize Me movie. Hate that fucking guy so much, dude, for doing that. Thing was, it's like this is the biggest problem too, and it kind of goes back to what we're seeing now with the whole like shrinkflation, skimflation stuff, because it's like it would be one thing if McDonald's was sitting there charging, $15-20 for a fucking meal or whatever, dude. If you had like these giant ass portions like they had in Supersize Me, but nah, man, that's not what they have anymore. They have like these fucking like half-assed. It's not even like half the size anymore. It's like a third of the fucking size or less that you're getting from these places, and you're paying like $20 for like a skimpy ass little burger and like a fucking little pack of fries, basically. When you used to be able to get this big ass fucking thing like that full of fries, and like this big ass fucking drink that was like 2 of these together, basically, in size. Which I watched Supersize Me again the other day. Well, not the other day, but like I think it was sometime last year, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll tell you what, I really think New York City or Spurlock was there at the time. I think they had bigger sizes there than they did in Ohio, because I remember drinking a lot of that stuff, a lot of those sodas and stuff like that. I remember eating a lot of that food as a kid and teenager, stuff like that, dude. I don't ever remember having a fry as big as he had there. I don't ever remember having a glass of soda as big as he had in that fucking thing. It was maybe like a size down from both of those things or whatever then, at the biggest I ever saw. So I definitely think there was different places that were given different size proportions of what it was then, or it was almost like a super size me version or something like that, and it was like a bigger thing because it was like a major city or whatever the case being, you were paying a premium maybe or something like that kind of deal. So it was like the major city version versus the like rural area version or something maybe. I don't know, but either way, I don't remember eating those big ass sausages. That was what it is. So, but that's what I'm saying though, right? Like if I'm going to pay that kind of money nowadays for that kind of shit, it's like, no, I'm going to want to have the biggest size possible, not this little shitty ass size. It's going to be like, it's like a fourth of what I used to get, and it's like 3 times the price now, whatever the case be. Which you really shouldn't be at McDonald's anyway because of the fact that it's all chemical based garbage. Is what it is there. It's all chemical design look like food. It's why you have somebody did a burger and fries from that place one time years ago into some museum. I think it's been like over 20 years now. They've been in that museum or something like that. They still haven't fucking degraded, dude. That they just look stale. The fries just look stale. No insects will go after them. No fucking, you know, creatures will go after them at all to eat them for that matter. And that right there should tell you exactly why you shouldn't be eating them yourself if that be the case then. Not to mention all the other crap in the American food supply that's being in other countries right now. So, but anyway, that being said though, probably gonna call it a day here pretty quick. I think most likely because I'm getting kind of a little bit tired. I need to get. Obviously, my sister and me were talking. I was saying something about doing some stuff and acting. That's what I was, actually doing stuff here is what it is. I do need to pick up some shit here. It's not like I can't do that, obviously, throughout the day is what it is, though. But at the same time, it's like I get her wanting me to do it while I'm here is what it is, obviously, and whatnot, what have you. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I'll get some stuff done here at some point today. It's just, it's going to be on my time, not hers kind of thing is what it is. And it's not like I'm not going to be able to do a bunch of stuff this coming week is whatnot. So that Best Food Show channel, the guy that goes all over the world and stuff like that, eat stuff. He did one a couple days ago here called South America's Most Dangerous Seafood. I think that might be the thing. What do you call that? It's that one kind of fish or whatever where you have to have like all the stuff to. It's like a 3 or 4 year process or something like that to get it because you have it's like some kind of poison that it secretes, whatever the case be. So, not sure about that one. I also found this other channel recently the other day called Guga Foods. And it's this dude that was doing all these different things that were done in different or not in different countries. It was a bunch of discontinued stuff from fast food places. And the one thing they were just like, oh, this is fucking disgusting. And it's funny because what it actually was is it was apparently during Lent, McDonald's at one point in time had the stupid ass idea to basically take a giant pineapple ring and put it on a fucking bun. I think they put some kind of like mayo or something on top of it too, which is even more disgusting, honestly. And then like serve that as like an alternative to like, fish or obviously any kind of meat on the menu or whatever it was there. And it was one of these guys took a bite of that and they're just like, oh, that's so nasty. And it's like, yeah, I would think it would be if it has some gross ass like mayonnaise or something on top of it, dude, or some kind of other fucking like, squirt of shit or whatever the case be then. Not to mention the fact that like it seemed like they were it almost seemed like they were not really frying the pineapple ring. They were just kind of like steaming it or something somehow. And it's like, bro, if you're gonna like that would be one thing. If they were gonna take it and like fry it up or whatever the case be, like that might be good actually, because it would be like, almost like a Hawaiian kind of pork thing or whatever the case be then, minus the pork, obviously. And yeah, if you do like grilled pineapple rings on like an actual grill or a smoker or something like that, dude, that actually tastes pretty good if I'm not mistaken. So But yeah, that's not one of the things to do right there, is what it is, dude. So I think they just fucked up big time on that one, is what it was, the way they prepared it and shit. So anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, I think my cousin's going to be heading over here in the next probably 15, 20 minutes or so. And then, of course, my sister's, I was just saying I get stuff done and whatnot. So I do need to work on some shit. Here's what it is. So I'll do that here in a few minutes. What it is then. So figure some things out then and go from there. And I was looking for the damn grabber that we used to have, but I can't seem to find the motherfucker now. So what I might do, I still have not determined, because this was one of the first things I got over at that place the other day, if this damn thing is a selfie stick or a shower curtain rod, but I do know that it extends, and I could easily go down like this and just pick out some stuff right now with this whole thing, which I think is exactly what I'm going to do currently. So, actually, as I say that, let's see if it's still good to go. I think it might be. I got my, well, I'm not going to even show this because it would actually give away where I live kind of thing, but yeah, this particular thing was a megaphone that was given to us years ago at high school by a local automotive shop that is now in the other town over that way. It also has the gun shop in it that I bought my first gun from. And yeah, pretty cool. So that's a piece of nostalgia I'll definitely keep. Hell, I might take that with me next year because come 2025, if we actually make it there, will be my 20th high school reunion. And I have yet to be to one of them. So mostly because I didn't actually graduate with the class. I ended up having to drop out, and then I got a GED the same year I would have graduated then. So I do have an equivalent, but at the same time, it's like I've been invited to them in the past and stuff like that. I just never got a chance to go to one, but because really at the time it was really seeing everybody like, seeing what they're doing and whatnot. It's just like, you see you're on Facebook or whatever the case be, and it's like, yeah, you can catch up with these people that you want to catch up with, and it's whatever then. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of would like to go to this one just because I kind of want to see if the girl who, would never give me the time of day in high school, if I could finally have it out with her in person then and call her a cunt to her fucking face at this point. Because she fucked me over, man, so bad. She fucking, strung my ass along for years of my life. There's what it was in high school / the end of middle school there. And if it wasn't for that shit, me pining over her and stuff, dude, I could have definitely had some functioning relationships there with other chicks in that high school. And maybe been married to one of them now and had some kids with one of those women now. But unfortunately, again, it goes back to whole coulda, woulda, shoulda thing, because it was the neighbor people over this way. The husband had died some years back now, and we were at the funeral over that way. And I saw her there, and I was going to go talk to her that night. Not this chick, or not the girl I'm talking about that fucked me over in high school, but the girl I was actually secondarily in love with is what it was there. And I was going to go up to her and be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" H. For those interested, we're going to call the chicks by letters of the alphabet at this point. The first girl was named T, and I'm going to leave it at that. And the second girl was named H. And I saw H over there at this guy's funeral, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, honey?" Or I was about to say that, or whatever the case be, was I was going to leave, because then I didn't go back, which I should have. And the reason I didn't go back is because I saw her talking to some other guy then, and I was like, "Oh, that's whatever." As it turns out, that guy she was talking to was some dude that she knew from grade school, who was chatting her up for the next couple hours that night, and because of that encounter, ended up, I guess, wooing her, and the two of them ended up getting married a few years later is what it was then. So, again, I feel like I missed my shot as an adult on that one, because those could have been my kids now that she had with this dude. So, yeah. And that one was really on me, but it was really on this T girl, though, in high school, though, because I could have had a relationship with H in high school if it wasn't for fucking T, getting in the way and acting like I ever had a shot with her ass when I didn't, and she knew damn well I didn't. So, But that's the thing with these fucking cunts, dude. And then, of course, I feel like karma kind of bit her in the ass, though, because with this T girl, she ended up getting involved in drugs very heavily throughout all high school. And then in the years after that, got busted, ended up going to jail for a while on some credit card fraud and some other shit like that, became a felon. Getting herself cleaned up in prison, meeting a guy that she thought was a good dude, having a child with that man. And then it turns out that between the time that she got pregnant with the kid and the time she had that child, this guy became a wife beater. And so then she basically found her way out of that relationship, took the kid with her, obviously got full custody of that child. That dude ended up going to jail for a while, or prison or whatever it was in the state. And then she ended up, moving her way around or whatever a little bit more and stuff. And then it was, trying to think now. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. So was she in prison? I'm trying to think now. I feel like she did multiple prison stints, actually, now I'm thinking about it, because I know she did one early on before she had this kid, and then she sort of got her life cleaned up and then thought this guy was a good guy, whatever the case, we had the kid with that guy or whatever. And then it was some years down the road then, after that, when her son was like, I don't know, like 5 or something or whatever, she ended up getting busted, I think, again for like a longer prison term. That's when she got the credit card fraud stuff, so it was then. And then I think the first time it was like more like misdemeanor or like really low level felony that was only like maybe like a year or something. And then the second time around it was like several years in prison. And then from there, what it was is that she had met some other chick that was in there with her. I don't know if she was one of her cellmates or if she was just some chick in the pod with her, whatever it was there. But they ended up having a chit chat, and this girl apparently was like, "Oh yeah, you should meet my brother. He's a good dude," or whatever the case be. And apparently, I guess one time this guy went to visit the sister there, is what it was. And this girl's like, "Oh, you should totally meet this T girl," is what it is. And so they met each other then, and then they end up, sort of, connecting and stuff like that. Obviously, they couldn't hook up in the prison system because she was an inmate, and it would have been obviously against the rules and stuff like that. But then she ended up getting out, obviously, and started a relationship with this fucking guy, and then ended up a year or two ago, she ended up marrying this guy then, and now she's, as far as I understand, living in California now, and calls herself something else, is what it is now. So, but yeah, it's very interesting, very interesting. And the thing is, though, like, I feel like the real problem with that whole thing is it's like, I told that girl years ago, I said straight to her face, man, I was like, if you had given me half a fucking chance, I would have been the best man in your fucking life, honey. And that's the truth at the end of the day. I would have made her life so much better for her, man. I would have never treated her wrong. I would have done everything I could to make the best life I could for her, myself, and any future children we would have together. But she would just never give me the time of day because I was a big dude. And it fucking sucks, dude. Because to think all the guys that she did give the time of day to that just fucking smacked her around, treated her like shit, got her addicted to drugs and alcohol and everything else like that. And, it's like one failed relationship after another kind of thing. And then she, supposedly meets the guy now is what it is. That is supposedly the good guy now is what it is. But who the fuck knows this is going to last more than a year or two long or more, dude. Like, for all I know, it's going to be, 25th anniversary. She comes back and is like, "Oh, hey, I'm single now," kind of thing. And it's like, well, I'm the governor of the state of Ohio, bitch. And guess what? I actually have a first lady now, so fuck you. And that's what it would have been then. That's one thing that's like the one thing I kind of hope that does happen, though, because I would love to rub that in her fucking face right now. Be like, yeah, you could have been the first lady of the state, bitch, but you fucked up. You done fucked up real bad, kind of thing. You chose not to give me the time of day many, many moons ago or any time after that. And now look what you got to look forward to, not being the first lady of the state. And being married to a guy making a fuck ton of money. So, but yeah. Or even in that same things if I hit the lottery this week or whatever the case be, it's like, yeah, you could have been the wife of a multimillionaire, honey. So, but anywho. See if there's anything else over here that I want to grip at or grab at here. Looks like a, what you call it there. Got some other stuff here. What is this? Resident Evil game, it looks like, maybe. That was actually in it as the question, though. Found about 4 or 5 other video games over here in the last couple of days now that are all say various things on them, but they're not what's actually in the damn thing, so let's go ahead and see if this is what it claims it is. Wipe off this little bit here. Let's see here. Oh, nice. This actually is the one it is. Cool. Yeah, I've actually played this game a couple times. There's Resident Evil Revelations is what this is called for the 3DS. It's really hard to beat past at one point because I know I could never find cheat codes for it is the problem because you actually need like infinite ammo or grenades or something like that because you're going up against these crazy ass creatures, and I can never find anything like that for it. So throw that towards the other stuff there. I know I got a PSP down here too that I'm probably going to try to sell for some money. I got some PSP games over in the one box over there, along with a couple other video games for that matter. And I'm not sure if I'm going to sell the games or not, but like at the same time, it's like if I can get some decent cash off them, maybe I will because I don't really play. I haven't really played the Pokemon games for some years now. I know I'm not going to probably play this game at all anymore. So, like I might keep like whatever the latest Pokemon game I had was for the 3DS there, or whatever. And that's it. Because I know they're all going to that other one now, whatever it is. So, oh, nice. That's a big ass chip clip right there. Just found. God, I wish it had a stick thing on the end of it or something. That's cool. Yeah, big ass chip clip thing. Dust this motherfucker pretty good and use this later maybe. Probably give this a wash off before I use it actually. Actually, I'm not sure if this is even good to use or not because I just saw there's like a big ass crack in the one side of it there. So, right now, sorry, it's not a crack, it's something else actually. But yeah, it's the whole thing. Not bad though. Pretty big clip. So over there for the time being. Throw this in the trash bag I have sitting here right now. But anyway, so yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. And like I said, you got, it really comes down to being just the fact that it's like, it's sort of like one of these worlds where it's like that movie The One, where the guy can actually travel from universe to universe kind of thing. And there's like all these infinite universes or whatever of his other versions of stuff he's obviously killing then. And my thinking is, it's like, I would love to have that ability to do that, honestly. But, like, obviously, Master Killing is what it would be. But, like, yeah, just going to, like, other universes and stuff like that and seeing the other, how the other versions of me ended up or whatever kind of thing or something like that is what it would be then. And going down the road, that whole thing is what it would be. So, hell, maybe I would find one where I was actually married to one of these women. And, maybe I died in that universe for all I know. And then it's like, mom's still alive, dad might still be alive too for that matter. That'd be pretty cool. And nothing else be like, yeah, I'm, this version of Adam from a different universe or whatever the case be, and just straight up tell them that, and they'd be like, okay, cool, we accept you as our son / husband and stuff. That would be kind of weird though, I think, though, because it's like obviously you kind of look like the guy that was the kid's father too for that matter, but you're not technically their father. And in the same vein of things on that one, it's like, while you loved the chick from your universe, like who's to say that the girl that's this version of her actually would have a connection with you is what it is then. So I don't know, it's hard to say, man. I know it is getting really windy though, and I'm hearing the shit in the bedroom there kicking up pretty badly. So it's not good. But yeah, it's like a whole thing though. And like I said, it'd be interesting to see what happens though, is what it is, man. Like I said, like I feel like if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. And unfortunately I don't think it was meant to be in either one of those situations, because if it was, I would have, you know, like I said, with that H girl, I would have walked back there that day and sort of interrupted and be like, hey, how's it going? And, you know, had an actual that like sort of, you know, moved her to my side kind of thing. Not saying I was gonna cock block the other guy, but yeah, fuck that guy. That's what it was then, dude. Uh, I would have moved this chick over towards me more, and you know, whatnot. But yeah, I'll tell you what, that girl, whoo, buddy. I saw the picture of her in the last year or so, and whoo, she has gained a fuck ton of weight though, man. Like she used to be real thin, man. Like I'm talking about like she was running track kind of thin girl and stuff like that. Now she's just gotten this H girl's gotten very, very overweight. But then again, she's also had like I think 4 or 5 kids now or something like that. So that being said, like that could have been my 4 or 5 kids as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it does kind of blow on that one for that reasoning. But like I said, though, at the same time, it's if it had been meant to be, it would have been meant to be, and it unfortunately was not. So it is what it is, and you know, there's no reason to really dwell on the past, is what it is, and you know, sometimes you just got to let go and move on, is what it is. It's kind of like the same thing with mom, you know. As much as I would love to have her still be here and have talked her out of taking stupid shit, is what it is. Like, you know, can't do that. Don't have the ability to time travel with like 2-3 years in the past, what it is then. Which obviously would be more than that. It'd be like about 4 years in the past, actually, almost. And, you know, tell her straight up, be like, hey, I know you're going to take something like this in the future. Do not take it because it will kill you, kind of thing. And, yeah, if she had known that, I think she wouldn't have taken them, as what it is, man. So. But anyway. Who knows? Like I said, only time will tell. There's a bunch of different, you know, things that could happen between now and then, and everything in between, and you know, maybe I'll meet somebody, maybe I won't. Like that's the only thing right now, right? Like, and again, at the same time, it's like looking at, you know, potentiality for the Second American Civil War in this country that's coming up pretty quick here. So it'll be whenever we start to, you know, collapse because of election stuff, is what I'm guessing is going to happen here. I was looking at mom, and I was like, yeah, she's in pretty poor health, dude. Like maybe she could shoot a couple times at somebody, you know, as like a backup person to me or whatever. But like at the same time, like I don't really see her being, you know, an advantage at her age at that time. And now that she's gone, it's like, it's one less thing I have to worry about. You know, it's one less tie that I have to, you know, have holding me down, kind of thing. Whereas if I just, you know, were to go nuts and stuff like that, I could just go nuts now, is what it is. And be that, you know, dictator warlord type and stuff like that. You know, rule with the iron fist kind of deal is what it is there. The pipe in my hand. I wonder how bad this would actually hurt somebody if I, you know, whacked him with it and shit. Probably not too bad, actually, just because I think this is like really thin aluminum, if I'm not mistaken. So it probably, if you hit him hard enough, it'd probably actually break the damn thing, is my guess, honestly. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it could like, that's the thing, right? Like if you're talking about like versus zombies, whatever the case be, man, like, you know, if you had the ability to like extend this out or whatever the case be, and just like shove them again or whatever, like shove them one time, whatever, and then just like your other hand, you just have a machete, and you're just like whap kind of thing. Like especially if you had like, I don't know, like some kind of poker on the end of this or something like that, where you can just like sort of stick them, or even the same, even the same thing is like just have a big ass like poker thing on the end of this or whatever, and just like, yeah, you got like some reach going there. You can just poke them in the fucking head or whatever the case be, and it's like, you know, right through the brain kind of thing, or whatever the case be. Then and it's like one more zombie down, man. So I don't know. I do like this though a lot. One thing I actually really like too. I was over at Walmart a couple years back now, and I was looking through. I had taken a wrong turn through one of the aisles, and I ended up in the sporting goods section. And they had these little kid aluminum bats there for like baseball and stuff like that, like little league and stuff like that. Dude, I'll tell you what, those things were some of the lightest bats I've ever had in my entire life holding on to. And if I had been able to pick up 2 of those at the time, which I think they're probably twice the price now is what it is because of Biden inflation and stuff like that. But yeah, those things were fucking nice. And they would have been perfect to take and get like a little bit of welding skill and just do like a little bit of spot welding around them or whatever the case be, and just weld some like nails and shit onto them or something like that is what it would be. Because those would be perfect. Those would actually be perfect for almost like a Z-Whacker type of thing, like they had in the Z Nation series that one girl picked out in the first episode of the first season. Because you could have just like, welded some like spike things to whatever the case be, and it would have been super light, and you still would have had the ability to get like, some good kills and stuff like that then. Like any kind of like zombie apocalypse kind of situation there, whatever the case be, or, grid down, warlord dictator type, whatever the case be, just got to go full Lucille on somebody or whatever the case be, and you're just like, whap, kind of just whacking the shit out of them is what it is there. So that being said, I think I'm going to go, it's not really wanting to get it real tight then. Yeah, it'll just be like, whoosh, 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 kind of thing then. This would make like a perfect staff though, I'll tell you that right now. Kind of thing. Actually, I don't know if you guys remember that one episode of Walking Dead. I think it was season 5, episode 1 maybe, where they had gotten out of terminus or whatever, and you have Michonne take her sheath for her sword. And I'm not sure what the fuck they did to modify it, but it had like almost like points on the end of both sides or whatever then. And that would be great for this thing, like, because obviously you have like the ability to like screw something in there. Like if I could figure out like a way to like screw something in there, that would be like a big ass like nail or something on both sides. Like that'd be pretty cool. Like get like a screw kind of thing, and then have like a nail like, I don't know, like welded to it or something. And just have that be a thing that I could like screw in there or whatever the case be. The same thing on the other side, and just be like stab kind of thing. Like that'd be a pretty cool melee weapon for grid down, man. So, or even like, since it does have like screw ability or whatever the case be, like maybe even just like, I don't know, have it be almost like one of those weird ones that has like, it's like a bow that has like nunchucks on the side of it or something like that. And just have something like that where it's like almost like a piece of chain link or something like that somehow. And it like comes down to like another piece or whatever the case be, and you're just like fucking around or whatever. That'd be pretty cool though. But yeah. But it is after 2 though. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day then right now. And I will be back later today, or later tonight, I should say. Most likely with E Honda and them on his channel for the Gay Frog Chat. As long as he does it, Gay Frog Chat tonight is what it is. So that'll be about 8 hours from now, give or take, I think is what it is. Usually around 10:30 or so, something like that. So we'll see if he, or 10, 15, 10:30, something like that. So yeah, we'll see if he actually has one tonight or not them. Right now I'm waiting for my cousin to come over then and pick up some things, and then I'm probably going to take a nap after that then. So I'm going to do a few things here while I'm waiting for him then, and eventually I'll just take everything else then and do whatever then with it. So, but yeah, other than that, that's pretty much where I'm at for the day though. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm not sure what this coming week is going to look like, just because I need to clean up a bunch of shit is what it is. So I'm going to try to do both Buckshot Thursday and Freedom Friday, but if I don't do them, like, you guys are going to know why. And it's because I'm literally working both Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon to get a bunch of shit done. Here's what it is then. Because my plan right now, like I said, is going to be, obviously today's Sunday. My plan right now is between today and tomorrow, get the rest of this area right next to me cleaned up, and I told my sister I was going to get this tabletop cleaned out as much as possible as I could tomorrow then. And then all the shit around it here. And so that'll be at least the next 24 hours. I'm going to hopefully get all that done in. And then probably sometime either Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning, I'm going to go and make my way out to the dining room there, move some stuff around, like food stuff and whatnot, and then just get back into the corner there is what it is and figure out like different things that can be moved and replaced and taken where else, if that'd be the case then. So, yeah. Because I got at least one fishing rod still out there, if I'm not mistaken. And then I got some other stuff out there too. And then there's a bunch of Tupperware all over the place there, but there's also a whole bunch of shit on the actual table that needs to be dealt with. And I know at least some of it. I know there's at least an air fryer out there right now that is not in good shape at all. That I think is broken completely and beyond repair or whatever right now. That's either going to need to be tossed or recycled or something somehow. I think what we might actually do is see if we can scrap it for money, if that be the case, maybe. But if we can't scrap it, then we'll probably just toss it, if that be the case, eventually. And then I know there's also another air fryer out there that we inherited from my cousin that actually does work, and I'm taking that with me to wherever the fuck I go is what it is then. So that'll be something that has to be boxed up someplace somehow or whatever then, which I may end up just having. I'm trying to think now. I may end up waiting until my sister comes back then for that whole thing and just start boxing up some of the other stuff that is around there and whatnot. And then I know she said she wanted some of the cake tips that mom had there, and I want some of them obviously too. So I'm thinking about maybe just boxing up some of that shit is what it is then. And going from there essentially. Things are going to be, honestly, I'll tell you right now, things are going to be way better when my brother can get his damn chair out of here that's right behind me here. Because that's just taking up a fuck ton of space right now. It doesn't need to be taken up currently. Because the chair I'm sitting in right now used to be over there. And then it used to be a couch right here is what it was. That was so broken down we just tossed out the door is what it was then. It was actually kind of ironic because my brother, he had tossed it out that night and was putting like there was like some plastic sheeting he was putting around or whatever. And I think this was 4th of July or around that time period. There was some kind of fireworks show going on, so I'm not sure if it was 4th of July or if it was some other day that there was just fireworks going on that night or whatever that case be, but there was like young guys that were walking down the street or whatever the case be to check them out or something. And they came back around, my brother was setting that down there. And they're like, hey, bro, can we just take this? And he's like, it's broken. And they're just like, yeah, well, can we take it? And he's just like, yeah, take it. And so, yeah, they each grabbed a fucking section of it or whatever and just like grabbed a place to hold it up to or whatever the case be there. I think one of them actually grabbed the cushions what it was, and the other two that grabbed like the either side of it or whatever the case be. And yeah, they were just walking up the road with it then to some of their house up the street there is what it was. So it's like, wasn't our problem after that, man. It saved us a bit of money too for that matter because we didn't have to pay the trash people take it away then. So that's kind of funny on that one. But yeah. Good times. Good times. And then, of course, we had, did a bunch of stuff over here then for that matter. And, just a bunch of shit all the way around, man. So. I'm not exactly sure how full my sister wants me to make these boxes because most of them are already 2/3 of the way full or more. And I'm like, I don't want to overfill them and make them so heavy I can't lift them or anything like that, But I don't know, man. It is what it is. I do have one of the old title belts though here that I got when I was a teenager. It was back when we used to do stuff here, and the times were a wee bit different. We had done some backyard wrestling and whatnot, or at least I was trying to, and it never really succeeded though is the problem. just seems like, oh, it's much of my life, honestly. Tried stuff here and there and just kind of failed at it. So, although to be fair, I could have died in 2016, and I didn't. And in about a month and a half, I'll be celebrating my 8th year colon cancer free. So, would have been nice if Mom been here for that one, but unfortunately she's not. She did make it for 7 though, so there's that. But yeah, it's just sad, man. It's one of those things where you can wish time, but sometimes it just never comes around. So, yeah. Like I said, though, hopefully I can hit this lottery on Tuesday and it won't be an issue. Then I can just clean this place up at my leisure. Actually, if nothing else, what I would actually do at that point is I would literally just have, and I mean this shit seriously, if I hit the lottery, I would just literally have people come in here and clean this shit for me is what it is then. I wouldn't even worry about it at all for that matter. I'd just be like, hey, how much money is it going to take for your crew to come in here and do other stuff up is what it is then. And then what it would be is them just literally boxing up everything. That's what it is. Obviously there's dust everywhere here is what it is there too for that matter. And it's like, yeah, it would just be them dusting everything off, boxing everything up, and just putting it, wherever then. And then, it'd almost be like an episode of Hoarders and stuff like that where they just box everything up and they, bring it out to you, check it out as what it is, and whatever the case be. Except in that case, it would be them doing that, but there would also be like a pot on the site or whatever at the time then. So it's like, yeah, if we want to put the stuff wherever then, like maybe we have 2 things for that matter. It'd be like, okay, here's this thing, like put some of this in the dumpster kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, like there's a dumpster over here and there's like a pot over here kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, put this in the pod, put that in the dumpster kind of thing. And then it's like everything in between, like that I don't know which way to go with it or whatever. It's like, okay, this is a maybe pile, just put that in the other side of the pod there or something like that, and just have like a section there where it just says like maybe stuff on it or whatever the case be. So, and then from there it would essentially be, taking this place right now the way it is and essentially leaving here for a while, going on a trip, and having people come in and build out this house again and build us a better place is what it is then. Use the original frame as your baseline, but at the same time, go back a little bit further into the back there and stuff, build, a little bit deeper down and stuff like that, build us a better area, build us a bigger basement, etc. there. And then essentially what would happen is from there, we'd essentially just change things around and stuff like that. It would be then, redo the septic entirely, have a bigger well on the property and stuff like that, have a bigger house, obviously. Or what it might be too, for that matter, is what I might actually do at that point then is it might not be I do that actually. What I may end up doing actually is I would leave this house as is and turn it into rental property for that matter. And at the same time, I would have a house built further back into our property on the other side here and just have a big ass driveway set up in there is what it is. Have a bigger basement put in place there. Have a huge underground basement basically. What I would actually think about doing with the thing, if I had a bunch of money to do that, is what it is. I would actually create like essentially like a giant ass underground thing there. That's like the entirety of the property almost. And like we would figure out exactly what can be done where. And you would have this underground area that would be almost like a 2-layer underground thing, where you'd have like a basement under a basement kind of thing, where the secondary basement would be like this cool like armory area and like shooting range kind of deal. And then the top basement would be something else. What it is then, it's actual basement is what it is there, whatever. And you would have the ability to, go from one to the other with like a staircase or something like that. So it'll be there. And it'd be pretty fucking cool, actually. And then, yeah, like the regular basement would just be outfitted with like, like a whole like underground area there to like live in and stuff like that kind of deal or whatever. As like a, party area / there'd be a bedroom in the basement there, someplace or whatever there. And then there'd be like obviously bedrooms on the top of the house too, for that matter. And it would be set up in such a way where if something bad were to happen, you would essentially have like a panic room downstairs in the basement, and then the sub basement would be another thing entirely, where it'd be another area too, for that matter, where it'd be most likely another bedroom area and stuff down there with like a bunch of the armory stuff is what it is then. So, and yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And of course, you could go down there and like twisters and shit ever happened and stuff like that. So it'd be like, we would basically design it in such a way where if a twister hits, it would have to go through like several feet of like some kind of a concrete barrier almost. Because like the whole thing would essentially be like a giant Faraday cage kind of like bunker type deal. That'd be the case then underground then. So at that point, money wouldn't be an object because I would have, millions and millions of dollars to my name is what it is then. So it's like whatever it costs, it costs. So, but anyway, that being said, I think that's about where we're at for today, though. It's almost 2:30. I'm gonna start getting stuff done here. Need to start working on some other shit too, for that matter, and then, just go from there. Is what it is then. But a week from Friday is going to be the end of the season, I believe is what it is. So it might be a week from Thursday, actually, would be the end of the season then. For season 8 of the Walking Dead game that I play. So I may finally be able to do season end rewards is what it is then, so that'd be nice. But anyway, go ahead and see some shit right now, see where we're at right now. See if anybody come to save my ass or not. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, I don't know. We will find out momentarily. Alright, well that got beat through, that got beat through, that got beat through, that got beat through. And the end of that one got beaten through, so let's go ahead and see exactly where I ended up at, see if anybody actually came to save my ass then. Okay, so we did have people go through. Okay, so you had the 2 people there, 3, 4. Oh, nice. So let's see. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 people on. 5, 6, 7, 8 were my dudes, and the 9th was able to win of my guys. So that's pretty cool. And for 19th, it was actually had beaten through those 4, and then it was my second set got it through. So yeah, second set couldn't carry the 20th one. Then is what it was. Interesting. That's cool though. At least now I know. So need to work on a couple things here. Get the grab stuff done. Do some grabbage. Now we got the fucking thing coming up here pretty soon as well for the I want to say it's tonight is Thriving Forces starting again for the coming week, so I'll have to do that stuff as well. Make sure that gets all done. Get as much as I can out of that shit, so. Finally got a level 5 double crossbow. Wish my net tosser would come through for a bunch more so I can get that to 6 then. Because that's still at 5. My love triangle weapon's still at 5. Dangerous deliveries at 6. The Flames of Fear is 1 away from 5. And then the Goliath thing that is Magna Yumiko and Connie is 1 away. Fragmentation stuff from 5. So not too bad, but not great. And obviously this past thing here, we were able to get to all the good shit then, so that's good. Nope, we missed out just by a little bit on the second to last one then. That sucks. Although I know Jeff and a bunch of the other ones left us recently, so yeah, we're another 65 people now is what it is, which I don't understand that, man. Yeah, you had like almost everybody leave now is what it is for some reason. So like I'm not really sure why Zach Face left. I think maybe he left to just go and help out with the other clan is what it was then or whatever. I know Totek left because they kept getting attacked. Johnny left because they're a piece of shit that's going to leave the region. That PH chick left. I don't know why, because she was gone for days and then left again. Not sure to pronounce this person's name. It starts with a V. They left a couple days ago. Alzar left. Kaza left. Jeff left, which he admitted after the fact. The reason he left was because Megan wasn't apparently talking to him, and then she claimed he wasn't talking to her. And I know she didn't leave anything for me, is what it was for a few days there. So I don't know, man. I'm assuming he's telling the truth on that one. He's gone to Hellhounds now. Sherry left, probably joined him there. Mo left. Tinkerbell left. This is all on the same day, by the way. A lot of these people here. Garda left. Melody left. Laya Bezel, I think is her name. Dragon Blood left. Miss Pain Love left. Circe left. Little Poison Ivy left yesterday. And then somebody left today is what it was. So fucking insane, man. Yeah, it's craziness. But the thing that I think is fucking dumb, though, is like, I don't know why these people would be leaving, considering the fact that they're not going to get the overall stuff for the season underneath us while they're not here, because it would actually behoove them to be in our group right now, because us as a clan is going to end up getting, I think, more stuff than any other ones are going to get. At least I'm pretty sure we're still in the top one right now. We better still be the top one right now. Check this just to make sure on that. Okay. Yeah, we're still in the top 3 right now for the first clan, for that first coalition. And the people that left are now in the 3rd. So when rewards come out right now, I am going to end up with 60 gold frags and 195,000 in the silver token stuff, along with 56 long ranges and 28 keys. They are going to end up with 30 gold, 150 or 134,500, 48 long ranges and 24 keys. So you essentially just gave up like over 60,000 in ability to get shit because you just wanted to be an asshole. I don't know. Like, it's just fucking stupid, honestly, dude. Or you just wanted to prove a point of you're dumb, I guess. Nice. An hour ago, I got a defensive victory against this Raven chick and got plus 26. Haha, suck it, honey. Yeah, let's see. So she was trying to go up against my level 120s with Whisperers, which were, let's see, what is her Whisperer set? Oh, wow, that's actually pretty good, man. So I had a level 110 Shane. She had a level 122 Beta. I had a level 120 Morgan. She had a level 121 Lydia that had almost full set of armor for gold armor. Her beta had a full set of gold armor, by the way. My Shane only had the waistband thing. And then my Rick only has 2 pieces, and her alpha that was 120 had all 4 pieces. But yet, neither one of us got a win on that one. Her second, which was the Shane Morgan Rick combo, neither one of them got a win. And then my set of Whisperers actually beat her Love Triangle guys. Her fourth was a bunch of... Where's that now? Yeah, her fourth set was the Epic Shane, Epic Rick, and Princess together. And I beat her with a Negan, Governor, and Adventurer Laura combo. And then her fifth was a 2-guy combo of Billy and Boyd epics. And I beat her ass with a John, Dwight, Andrea combo. And then she came back around and beat me the second time around, my first formation with her Whisperer combo. And then I got her second guys with my Love Triangle combo. She ended up getting my Whisperers with her Whisperers, and then I beat her Whisperers with my Governor combo, or my Governor trio then. So, in round 9. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Losses. I lost 23,390. She lost 30,198. I had 52,890 survive. She had 45,285 survive. So, yeah. See, that's the problem though. Like you may have like 1 or 2 things like that, right? Where it is how much I say this now? Where you have the ability to have like 1 or 2 guys there, whatever it is, you know, they're getting things done or whatever it is there. And it looks all good and everything. But the thing is, like, if you're putting all your eggs in one basket where you're, you know, like, yeah, you have, it's like, yeah, it's cool. You have that, you know, Whisperers trio, or whatever the case be. It's like all maxed out and all gold and everything else like that. But at the same time, it's like, if you don't have all that shit in your second, third, fourth, fifth, etc., you're nothing. You're not going to get anywhere, dude. You're just totally fucked then is what it is. And I think that's probably her problem right now is she did all that shit or whatever to get that all the way there. And she probably has like next to nothing in her rest of her things, or even like in that way, it was like a bunch of stupid bullshit kind of thing there. So, let's see, it looks like all my shit got knocked through on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if where I got through on this, then if that be the case. I got taken out in 17 and 18 in the network account. There was only one guy that was protecting me at the time, and he had a Michonne at 130, a Glenn at 130, and a Negan at 110. So that's definitely pay to win. I just saw it since somebody sent you resources. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. I sent myself a bunch of resources earlier. That's how I was doing stuff earlier. I was getting all because I had my my wood in my main account was almost completely full up, is what it was, and then I was trying to figure out a way to get rid of it without having to, you know, dump it off or whatever. Then, and yeah, sure enough, it was through this way is what it was then. So for some reason, I didn't get all my stuff done here because I just realized there's a thing that popped up here to do stuff. So that's cool. Need to get all the whatchamacallits done here too in the next couple hours as well to get all of my thing for Mixture Madness because I haven't got any of those done yet. So I need to work my ass off and get all those done then. Next couple hours here is what it is then. So I think I may have one more day to get it done, but I still want to get it done before reset though, just because you never know. I think it might say one more day, but then they might try to fuck you later or something like that kind of thing. Like they did that one time with the knife event. So should try to see what's coming up here pretty quick is what it is. The upcoming event right now. Let's see. Got Survivor supplies coming back around again. Oh, I found something interesting out too. Never get rid of your 100 thing to reset things, thinking you're going to get it done for strongest survivor. It doesn't do that. They completely fuck you over like that. Because I wasted one on that one the other day, and yeah, it didn't do nothing for me. Is what it is though. And so we got Thriving Forces coming up at reset. Day after that, we got Ruby Rush coming back again. That's cool. Be able to get some more things for what you call it. We got Survivors Gather coming up after that. Not quite as good for the time being right now, just because nothing's really worth that 2,000 for that. Reap the Fruits is going to start the same day as that event. Looks like they're doing different things for that now, because I'm seeing keys and what you call it. Let's see, at this reset, we're also going to have Wheel of Survival starting again. We also got Rescue Rick coming back again, so we'll do that to get our, what you call it. We also got a new thing of Survivor, 7 Days of Survival thing starting, which is going to be long ranges, medals, and looks like Negan boxes. So that's fucking cool. Actually, now I think about it, I need to, around like 4 or 5 o'clock today, I need to throw all my guys together here and send them off to go gather for the day is what it is then. And that way I can get stuff done, then is what it'll be. So, and then I think the only thing that sucks now knowing that is that at reset, we're not going to be able to have Jeff and everybody around to help us get the 31s done and stuff. So it'll be us just doing them ourselves. That'll be the case then. And yeah, my plan right now is to basically get myself all 5 done on that account then, or on my accounts, I should say there. And then it'll just be that really nasty pimpleness on my nose there. And then it'll be yeah, looks like you got it all. That's good. But yeah, so I'll do that, and then I'll do like 50 of those for the day is what it is, and I'll do their 50 tomorrow is what it is though. To get all the stuff for the rewards for Thriving Forces then. And at the same time I'll get all my Rescue Rick rewards done, get all the fragmentation done and stuff like that. So have the ability to get I think it's like 70 something reward fragments for Rick and Shane, all those guys like that. So I'll end up having a I believe it's Shane. They'll get his ass redone then. Trying to see it right now. Yeah, I'm 9 frags away from a Shane being a 6-2 right now, so he'll be almost a 6-3 when it comes to stuff later on them. And then that'll be in the secondary account here. In the third account, it'll be I think Rick is the one getting done there. I know Rick is almost done. I think Rick is done in my first account too, for that matter. It's Shane that I'm working on there as well. So check this real quick. So we got Lone Trader coming back again at 2:30 in the afternoon. That's done. That's done. That's done. Get that shit done as fast as possible. I think I missed one actually by accident there by flipping too fast. Not double checking. It's all done. Done, 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 done. Okay, nothing more to do on that one. Except for grabbing some grabs. Doing some things. And some stuff. I'm still pissed I missed out on the 8 mil. Or, wait, was it 8 mil or 10 mil? Yeah, I think it was 10 mil actually the other day. Or no, sorry, it was 8 mil. Because it was like 7.9 is what I actually got. Some dick decided to be an asshole. Look out for himself instead of looking out for the rest of us too. Fucking glory hounds, man. So I can't stand the pay to win sometimes. Because I don't give a shit about the rest of us. So, anyway, let me see where the third one came at. 18 and 19. This one did not survive through. Huh. Makes sense. Anyway, let's see, where was I at here now? Sure, everything else I need to get here. Yep, everything's good to go on that one. Yeah, all we need to do now is do a few whisper deals. So, which I think we'll just start there with those right now, actually. Actually, while I'm doing that, I'll go and grab this dog. Couple of whatchamacallits here. And a set of level 9s. I really hope next season for season 9 that we actually are able to get to 32, 33, 34, and we actually have 10s then and that whole thing for the reward boxes, because that'd be fucking sweet. Because it would be nice to be able to start getting some like random ass 10s that you don't have otherwise, is what it'd be then. Like some melees or some sharpshooters or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Good times. But only time will tell on that one. So, one movie I was thinking about watching the other day, I think I may end up watching here in a little bit, is going to be that Brady Bunch movie from years ago. You guys know the one from the 1990s where it had Jake, I think the guy's name was Jack Newsworthy in it. He was the dude that played in the Barbed Wire movie as the brother. He also played in Idle Hands as the guy who was, I believe his name was Randy in that, where he was working on his car all the time, and he was giving the Devin Sawa's character in that movie advice to like keep his hands busy so he's not like, killing people, essentially, not realizing he's actually killing people at the time. So, by the way, that's a fucking great movie from 1998, by the way, for those who don't know. Idle Hands. Although, to be fair, that was before Seth Green was out as a pedophile. And I can look at that guy in a different light now that I watched that movie, because he's such a fucking scumbag. But it did have Devin Sawa and Eldon Henson in it. They're both good dudes to this day, as far as I'm aware. So, kind of evens out to some way, I guess is what you'd say on that one. At least in some ways anyway. But, some might not see it that way, but that's all I see is what it is. So, it is what it is. I know that tonight they're also doing a special on Discovery Channel, or not Discovery Channel, Investigation Discovery is doing a special about Nickelodeon, is what it is, and it's about all the people that were child predators there during the time. And it's funny because they're like, oh yeah, there was 3 child predators that worked for Nickelodeon at this time, and it's like, no, there was like 30 child predators that worked for Nickelodeon at that time. You're only talking about the 3 that were caught as convicted sex offenders, you stupid bitch. Because that one guy, that Dan, whatever the fuck his name was, from all that and shit like that, that guy was not part of that 3. And that guy was raping all kinds of motherfuckers left and right, dude. I mean, hell, he raped and shot Ariana Grande, for God's sakes. So, it was never brought up on charges of her molestation and stuff like that, or anybody else's for that matter. That was all part of all that set. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, truthfully, if that Kenan Thompson guy had gone from the prey to predator kind of situation now is what it is, like Seth Green did. Which the difference between him and Seth Green, though, was both Seth Green and Brock Pierce, the kid that was the star of the movie First Kid with Sinbad, is that Pierce and Green had both worked with Timothy Busfield in the past. If those know what Timothy Busfield is a famous actor. He's also a ginger guy. who did a bunch of movies and stuff. And he was in a ton of different things over the decades. I'll actually pull up a photo of this guy right now. He's actually married to the woman who is Laura Ingalls in the Little House show. And she's definitely been covering for his ass for decades now. Yeah, it's this guy right here who used to be a ginger back in the day. And this dude did a bunch of stuff over the decades, dude. He was in that 30-something show between the 80s and the 90s. That was a great series, by the way. He was in Little Big League back in 94. He was in Revenge of the Nerds back in the 80s. He did a movie called Trucks in 1997, which is basically a ripoff of Maximum Overdrive. Another Revenge of the Nerds movie. All kinds of film credits here is what it is. Like I said, he was in First Kid. I think he was actually the villain in First Kid of all things. He was in Field of Dreams, so I would not be truthfully that's the one movie that he may have actually been a predator towards females too. And if he was, that was the one movie where it was Gabby Hoffman, I believe, was the little girl in that movie. So if she ever had if there was ever things of her coming out being a predator or whatever the case be, I could definitely buy it being a Busfield thing. There is what it is, because it would be, again, like I said, hey, it's him basically being the really only person that is tied to all three of these people is what it is then, man. And then you have ties to everybody else too, for that matter. And it's like, yeah, it makes you wonder like how many other predators are out there that are tied directly to this guy that were people that were preyed upon by him that have now become potential predators themselves, what it is then. So yeah, there's definitely a Hollywood pedo connection there between that guy and a bunch of other people, is what it is, man. He's not a good person at all, man. So, which just even looking at the guy and some of the roles he's done over the decades, like he just comes off like very, very fucking scummy. Like, I mean, very fucking creepy, very, just like oozes kind of predator behavior kind of shit is what it is there. Like, yeah, this guy is not your friend. He's not nobody's friend. Like, he's a creepy motherfucker kind of deal there. So, yeah, I don't know, man, but it's a very sad situation all the way around. And it's like, you're just trying to get your kids ahead in life. And you got to worry about some piece of shit like this coming after them and preying upon them and everything else like that. And it's like, it's so disgusting, dude. It's just so, so fucking disgusting. Just sick, sick fucking people. And it's just sad. It's just really sad how you have all of these individuals who, they'll sit there and they'll creep and they'll creep and they'll creep. And it's not until they get caught eventually. And even when they get caught, there's not really much that is dealt with them, which in reality, they should be ostracized from society is what it is, dude, for real. And it doesn't even happen that way. It's never happened that way, because again, it's like, as long as you're some fucking famous person or whatever the case, you can get away with literal murder in many cases. Hell, look at OJ for that matter. But God forbid you're just some, everyday person walking into a fucking U.S. Capitol and you get slapped with like several years of fucking charges, what it is for nothing, dude. It's just a slap in the face of this country is what it is, dude. And for God's sakes, we have a little fucking child molester claiming to be the president right now. And that piece of shit Biden. It's like, what a fucking joke, man. It's like that episode of what's that show now? I'm trying to even think what I'm thinking about right now. Jesus Christ, my mind is completely blanking out right now. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't the show; it was a movie. It was the movie, The Watchmen, where it's the comedian being just like, "It's all a fucking joke," kind of like laughing about it and shit. And he's right about that, dude. It really is. It's like all a fucking joke, because it's like, the good people do what they need to do or whatever to try to get ahead, and they get fucked over. And then it's like, you have these evil pieces of shit, cheating, scheming, conniving. I was going to say conniving, but I don't think that's a word at this point, because this makes me like scheming and conniving, I'm guessing. I'm going to have to use that later. Just be like, this motherfucker be conniving over here. And people be like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. But yeah, they're like scheming, they're conniving, they're backstabbing, corrupt as shit. You know, sold us out to fucking other countries decades ago, and yet they're still alive. And it's like, why? You know, seriously, like that's the real question, dude. Like, why have they been brought up on high treason charges at this point and been dealt with accordingly then by what the charges for that crime are? So it just blows me away, man. It really does. It just blows me away. We're just letting people get away with this shit day after day after day. And I think for a lot of people, they're just coming to that breaking point right now, very, very soon here. And so I think you're going to see something pop off very soon in this country. So, you know, look forward to something happening this year. But like I said, don't know exactly what it's going to be right now. Could be anything and everything on the table. Nothing. I would put nothing past anything right now, dude. I would not, like I said many times, I would not put it past the Democrats trying to kill Trump and then potentially also trying to kill Biden at the same time, for that matter, and try to blame it on like some fucking third. The hell, I wouldn't be surprised honestly if they didn't like actually succeeded to do assassination on Trump, try to do assassination on Biden, kind of thing, like failing to do so or whatever, like purposefully or whatever, and then trying to blame like RFK for both or something like that, dude. Like seriously, I would not put it past people at all to pull that shit, man. So. Like, it would make sense at that point, truthfully speaking, because they are that fucking deranged is what it is, man. So, I don't know. What I do know, though, is I'm going to eat this last piece of bacon right now. It's looking pretty good on both sides here, actually. That's tasting real, real good now. Savor this for a minute or so. So good, man. So good. Go through my egg thing with my others here. The only good thing about these paper plates is I can just toss them now. Don't have to worry about, washing them off or anything like that. Of course, the stuff that was in the sink the other day that was been there for weeks now is not. Some of it wasn't good. It was getting kind of moldy and had to be tossed, so that's not good. But at the same time, it's like if I had the space to be able to wash it off and do everything else, then that wouldn't have been an issue. But unfortunately, I did not have that ability to do that, and it wasn't until my sister came here and started cleaning stuff up and realized what was really going on that she, did it for me is what it was. So I appreciate that from her, because now I have a mostly clean living space again, and at least that part of it anyway. And then of course I'm cleaned up around me. Here's what it is now, and but anyway, like I said, I'm getting kind of tired right now. I'm hoping my fucking cousin gets here pretty damn soon, dude, because he doesn't want to take a nap on his ass then. Like, for real. Because I am super exhausted. I got up at fucking... woke up at about 4 o'clock this morning, give or take. Somewhere in there. I was half awake or whatever at the time. And, yeah, I was never really able to get back to sleep after that. And then I ended up getting up about 5:30 this morning, for real then. And then did a few things. Decided to get some fruit out to eat for like a sort of pseudo breakfast that was there, and do what needed to be done there. And then it basically became a whole thing. And then it's led to this whole thing now is what it is. And did a stream this morning, obviously. Did this stream now. And I don't know if I'll do another stream before the night's over or not. Probably not, honestly, because I'm sorry. I will do another stream before the night's over because I will be on Honda stream in about 7 hours, give or take. And we'll be talking about whatever the fuck then, conspiracy related or whatever we're talking about, guns, 2A, whatever it is then. Doesn't really matter. So, let's see. Region has a new chief. Oh, shocker. It's the same asshole as last time. next, trying to make myself king again. So, anyway, speaking of kings, I watched, finally got a chance to watch that stupid ass Kick-Ass 2 movie the other day. Oh my god, what a piece of shit that was. Like, bro, oh my god, bro, like, that was seriously one of the worst sequels I've ever seen in my entire life, man. The only thing good about that movie was that it was showing, like, the emergence of, what's that girl's name now? Chloe I forget what the chick's last name is. The one that played Hit Girl in the movies, dude. Because it was starting to show, like, her beauty coming out then in that movie. And then, of course, it actually showed, like, her legit beauty at the end of it. And I'm not sure how old she was back then, if she was, like, 17 or 18 or what the hell she was then, maybe 16. But, yeah, it was interesting. And then, of course, that was a couple years before what was that movie? The one with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron and those guys, because it was a sequel that she wasn't in that one. She was in her late teens at that time, like late teens, early 20s, someplace in there at that point then. So, but yeah, you can tell that you could actually tell when that girl was a kid that she was probably going to be good looking to decent looking when she was an adult then. And I'll tell you what, man, like, she did not disappoint at all. Actually, I found something interesting out recently, which is when I was watching that movie, because I was looking at the one girl, I'm like, this girl looks familiarly hot, but I can't tell from where. And as it turned out, she was actually the one that played the daughter in that Bautista zombie movie a couple years ago, Army of the Dead. Which, by the way, that movie had way too many fucking plots in it too, for that matter. Because you like, and this is where honestly I think that movie really failed on that one, because you had like 27 different plots going at the same time or whatever there, instead of just being like, hey man, like, this is what we need to do, this is what's going to be done, kind of thing, move on from this point or whatever. Then instead it's like, okay, let's make this all convoluted as fuck, have it be like the weirdest shit ever, and then on top of that basically be like, okay, here you go, here's the thing. And then you add like 10 more storylines on top of the other storylines, what it is then. And that's pretty much what we had as that movie. Because the thing is, when we talk about the base of that movie, the base story in that movie was not bad at all, man. Hell, if you watch the first 10 minutes or so of that film, actually, you see one of the best storylines ever, and there's almost no dialogue to it whatsoever at that point. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, what I'm talking about specifically is it is the woman and her little girl. You have this woman who is basically a mother, like a soccer mom type or whatever the case be, who goes out there, obviously trying to find her kid, kids missing, whatever the case be. I think she's probably zombified or whatever it is there. And she ends up finding that kid and taking her, nope, it's a scam. Okay, they can fuck off. But yeah, so it's her kid that she's looking for and stuff like that. She's like the soccer mom that goes like full 2A and stuff like that, and becomes like a whole hardcore badass. And that's the thing, like there are many films like that where it's like some chick, just the use of a gun and stuff like that, as like somebody who you wouldn't think was using a gun, actually kind of brings you to that like alpha female status, in my opinion, anyway. And I feel like that's what it was for her in that movie and stuff. And then eventually she ends up finding her daughter at the very end, and they're like trying to escape the fucking city and stuff. And it turns out that, like, obviously she ends up getting, yanked back by the zombies and bit and stuff. And the little girl's like, oh my God, mommy, kind of thing. And like runs back to her mom. And yeah, they both get crushed, obviously, in like the first 5 minutes of that movie or something is what it is there. But that's the thing. Like, you have such a compelling storyline of that little bit right there that it's just like, bravo, motherfuckers. Like, that right there was the quintessential part of that movie right there, dude. Was just that little inkling of a storyline that you had there. I mean, it's so good. But yet the actual movie itself after that kind of sucked in many cases. Like, I'm not saying it like sucked, but it was like pretty bad, honestly. Like there was definitely a lot of shit that could have just been easily yanked out of it and, like slimmed down. Or I think the problem that they had was that they had basically enough time in the movie for, like, let's go ahead and say, like, I don't know, like 40 minutes or so of actual like good story and like action and stuff like that. So you have like this other like hour gap to fill or something. So they're like, okay, let's put all kinds of stupid shit in here that like doesn't make any sense at all. Like, oh, let's have these random ass people go into this place and like search these fucking casinos for like money that are all illegal aliens in this country. And it's like, oh, let's put this illegal alien storyline here that's like it's like pro illegals and shit like that. It's like, go fuck yourself, man. Seriously. Like, seriously, go fuck yourself, Hollywood, on that one. Go shoot a giant dildo strip your fucking asses, dude. And I mean that straight up right now. There's no fucking need for shit like that at all in these fucking movies, dude. You're just pushing bullshit on the fucking consumer base to try to push for pro-legal bullcrap. Because just like that bitch fucking Kelly Osbourne said years ago, who's going to make up your toilets, Donald Trump? I don't know, bitch. Maybe some fucking American that wants a job as a fucking maid and get paid well, you stupid fucking cunt. And that's the thing. That's what these ritualist assholes think about the rest of us, dude. It's like, oh, we can just hire illegals to be our fucking maids for us. Like, that's the problem. Or even need maids at all, for that matter. Like, that just shows, like, the whole elitism for these fucking pieces of shit in Hollywood, dude. They're just, like, complete fucking Nazi scumbags entirely. So, anyway. But, yeah, that being said, though, yeah, that Army of the Dead movie, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest, obviously, and I feel like there's definitely a part of that movie that was good or whatever. I thought they were supposed to be a sequel to it at some point here, like pretty quick or like not long from now or whatever. I don't think they ever made it. That was what the problem was, though. I hear we got like knocked for funding or something like that. I don't know. Although it could be the fact that I know that writer strike happened for a long time though, so it could be something like that where it just got kind of caught up in that queue or whatever the case be then, and it's going to be still down the line at some point, but not anytime in the near future kind of deal, whatever the case be there is. So who knows? Who knows? Only time will tell, and we'll actually see if we get anything out of that then or not. Hopefully we will, but who's to say? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. So I'm hoping we do, man, because that'd be nice to have something there. Do whatever then, and then get some stuff going there. Is what it is, though. So, anyways, but yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much around for the day, though. Been over 2 hours now, and I gotta actually get stuff done now. Is what it is then, and start for real cleaning up over here, and at the same time doing stuff on the game here. Is what it is then, and going down that route for a little while here, and if and when I can finish all this shit up, then I'll be semi-set for most of the day. Is what it is then, and be able to, do what needs to be done in the future. Is what it is there. So hopefully I can get this all done before time expires. But who knows? But anyway, but yeah, that being said, though, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been kind of interesting, obviously, all the way through. And I think we will definitely be in an interesting place in this country in the near future. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to see it coming. I think people like me that do see it coming, we're going to be most prepared for is what it is, or at least prepared enough to where we're not going to, get murked out and day number one is what it is there. So, but anyway, need to talk to Corey here tonight about a couple things in the back chat. Give him I had a conversation with him yesterday on the phone. Said some things in anger. Not anything towards him or whatever, but just like a general anger thing or whatever that kind of came off wrong and something his son didn't need to hear. And I didn't realize the kid was even with him at the time, honestly, because I completely blanked out on that one because I was just in such an angry rage is what it was yesterday over everything going on right now with me currently. So I apologize to him already on Discord, but I still would like to, hear his voice when I give him an actual apology for it, though, because, again, it's not anything his son needed to hear, and if I'd have realized, I wouldn't have been ranting like that, so, again, that's the problem with the autism sometimes. It's like the whole thing with that Fallout Guns and Barbecue and stuff like that, man. It's, you say things offhanded comments or whatever the case be, and people think you're a piece of shit. In reality, you're just a good guy is what it is, though. That's trying to just, survive what's to come, man. And I think that's what most of us are doing right now. We're just trying to survive what's to come right now. And people don't understand that, man. And it's like, why should I have to feel guilty for who the fuck I am is what it is, man. Oh yeah, that's right, I shouldn't. That's the whole entire point. So, but anyway, so like I said, that's pretty much where we're at for right now, though. I'll be back later tonight with Honda and them then, as long as I get sent a link and Honda's actually doing the chat or not. I don't know if he will or not, because like I said, it depends. He's done them in the past, but he's also, not done them here and there is what it is. I know he said he was doing his thing with his kids last week, so he should be back this week for another one then, if that be the case. So, but yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's another one too. So I guess yesterday when Trump was here in Ohio, he said something about a bloodbath during the thing. What he was talking about was basically like the Democrat. Essentially, he was talking about like Democrats cheating him out of the office again, is what it is there, and like creating like a bloodbath in the country because they're such inept fucks. Basically, is what it is. And of course, you got the dumbass mainstream media being like, "Oh, Trump's calling for bloodbaths now." Like, at what point do we have the ability to just sue the fucking mainstream media out of existence right now, dude, for not being the press anymore? Because they're not. They've not actually should have not been covering the freedom of press protections in this country for at least like the last 50 years or so since Operation Mockingbird started, is what it is. And yet we're allowing these fuckers to have like the ability to keep bullshit and fucking, screwing with our fucking nation is what it is there, man. But yeah, we got media go hoax wild. Trump falsely accused of threatening bloodbath if he loses, was talking about auto industry. Said Biden campaign fuels fake news frenzy. Of course they fucking do because they're scumbags. Yep, mission accomplished. Dems get talking point. Pelosi, we have to win 2024 because of violent warning. Oh, you mean how you fucking scumbag cunts literally fucking stole 2020, you dumb bitch? This old fucking dementia piece of shit fucking alcoholic needs to be out of office right now, dude, for multiple reasons. The first one of them being that Pelosi doesn't even live in a fucking congressional district she represents, dude. Like, how the fuck are you gonna be in office if you don't even live in the fucking district representing this country, dude? That right there should be an ominous disqualifier in office right now in our nation, seriously. And then you got fucking dickhead Cassidy. Trump's bloodbath rhetoric concerning to some voters. Go fuck yourself, Bill, you fucking douchebag. You were such a rhino sack of shit, bro. I don't know if this guy's up for re-election in Louisiana or not, dude. What he needs to fucking be, he needs to be put the fuck out of office for somebody way better than if that be the case. It's not a rhino sack of shit. So, anyway, yeah, we got Putin clutches another 6 years in power. Colorado, first in nation to build prison cells for trans inmates? The fuck? Build segregated prison cells for transgender inmates. See, Colorado may soon have to accommodate transgender women in prison due to a lawsuit filed in 2019. Segregated holding cells for those specific individuals are a definite possibility, Fox News reported Saturday. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. None of those people are trans. They're mentally ill men. All the way across the board, dude. All four of these motherfuckers. The thing is, though, it's what's funny to me about that, they say that, though, because it's like, I believe that there actually was that kind of stuff in California already. It's like it's a unit or something like that in the prison system. It's like a segregated unit for like gay people and shit like that is what it is there. So I'm guessing maybe it's something where it's not just gays, it just has to be like trans only or something. If that be the case, like that just seems weird though. But yeah, I know there was one that was like, it was kind of like, how do they call it now? It's like vulnerable individuals or whatever the case be. It's like, yeah, you have like this whole thing where it's so it's like gay, trans, all that stuff like that is what it is then. And they made a movie about it some years ago, actually. I forget what it was called offhand, but it had Jason Mewes in it as like some gay guy being transferred into this unit because it was almost like AdSeg actually, except it wasn't like quite that lockdowny and stuff like that. It was basically just like, oh yeah, here's like a bunch of like space and like this bigger area of like, it wasn't bunk beds. It was like, I'm trying to think what the triplet version of that would be. I want to say trunk beds, but that's not what it is at all, actually. Like tri-bunk beds, I guess is what they call them or something, where it's like top, middle, very bottom or whatever kind of thing. And yeah, it was him in that movie, and it was supposed to be like this person that was like supposedly transgender, like sort of running this pod is what it was then. So I never actually saw the movie because I could never find the actual movie itself to watch then, but it looked like it could have been pretty good actually. So it was a pretty interesting storyline anyway. And that's the thing, like that's one of the things I would really consider woke at that point, because it's like it wasn't really that thing at all. It was basically just a movie that was based on this whole like, prison system essentially is what it is there. And it's like, yeah, it's something that people would actually want to watch is what it is. Like I said, like I'd want to watch it honestly, just for because it looked like it was from the trailer, but it looked like it was pretty good then. So I mean, it could have been a piece of steaming shit, honestly, for all the fuck I know. But at the same time, it's like I still wouldn't mind seeing it just to see if it actually is that thing. And if it is that thing, I'll stop watching it then, like halfway through or whatever. Then, although usually my whole thing with a movie though, like there's been very few movies I've actually stopped watching like that, unless they're like real steaming piles of shit. Is what it is, man. Like it has to be like real bad for me to actually stop watching like partway through. Because most films I've watched over the years and stuff like that, and I've had at least one thing where I've been like, okay, this is pretty bad, but let's just keep watching and see if it gets better, kind of thing. And then it's like 90 minutes later and it's over, and I'm just like, yeah, that was a piece of crap in general. But yeah, usually I'll like there's been a couple of ones that I've seen recently that are like not great or whatever, that I've decided to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna turn the shit off because it's just dumb, kind of thing or whatever. And it's obviously not gonna get better from here. And so there was no reason to continue to watch it then. And like I can see from that perspective of things, like doing that kind of deal or whatever then. But yeah, like the one that I was watching, like with something like that, though, it's like, yeah, I'd actually watch it just to watch it, what it is then. So, but anyway. That being said, though, I think we're going to be finishing this up for real now, because I am starting to get pretty exhausted. And like I said, I got to wait for my cousin to come over here to grab some stuff, though. And I really wish he just had a fucking key to the house at this point, so I could just have him let himself in and then just take the stuff and then, go from there or whatever then. So, unfortunately, he does not. So, and there's really not a reason to give him one, is what it is, because I'm up most of the day, is what it is, though. So, but at the same time, it's like I kind of like take a nap right now for at least an hour, and I don't know if I can have that much time for between now and the time he would get here, is what it is. So, but anyway, we'll figure it out, though. Somebody just hauled ass up the fucking. Sounds like they're trying out for some truck and tractor pulls later this year. So, anyway, that's one thing about this area that I'm in right now, is it's like you'll hear that on occasion, but it's not like every single day kind of thing. Versus wherever I end up, it could be like a regular thing or whatever, regular occurrence and shit. And I don't want to be that guy kind of thing that has to deal with that kind of shit or whatever then, because that would suck. But I don't know, man. Only time will tell. And like I said, maybe it'll be a situation where it won't even matter at the end of the day, because it could be something where we're just in a war by the time I would have to leave this place. And by then it would just be like, well, that's not going to happen now, kind of thing, So, yeah. Because that would be my whole thing there. Anybody that would be like, okay, it's time to leave now. It's like, nope. It's like, sorry, bud, we're in Civil War now. Fuck you. This is a home base operations, bitch. So, anyway. I think at that point, pretty much everything is off the table anyway, because it would just be people having to, deal with whatever then. And, it's up to them to deal with what they want to deal with then. But, anywho's, it's been almost 2.5 hours now. I don't really want to waste a lot more time on this account, since I only have X amount of time for this thing until April. So, I do plan on just hanging out at the house for the eclipse day, though. See if anything crazy happens then. My plan right now is to figure out exactly what time it's going to happen, and then basically be up a couple hours before that, and then just grab a chair and go outside and chill, and hopefully it's not, well, I don't know if I'll chill out outside for a couple hours, depending on how cold it is outside, obviously. If it's a nice day, though, if it's like nice and like, maybe 60s or something like that, it might be good. But if it's going to be like, 30s and fucking freezing snow and shit like that, like, fuck that noise. So I'll probably go out for like maybe 5-10 minutes when it actually comes through or whatever then, and I can actually see the damn thing with the totality and shit like that. So I guess we're supposed to have a whole bunch of other ones coming up here too, for that matter, in the next like year or so that are like either partials or total ones between like now and 2026. So it's this one's going to be one of the first ones, and then we're going to have a bunch of other ones going on in other parts of the Americas, and then like various places like Argentina and shit like that's what it is then, or not Argentina, Antarctica, and like the seas and stuff like that. You can like if you're at sea or whatever, is like a what do you call those people? Like Navy person or whatever. You can actually see the shit at sea then, so that should be pretty cool for them then to be able to watch it. That would actually be a pretty cool thing to be at sea and see that as a like thing happening while you're out at sea then on like a boat or something, or like a big ass ship or something. As long as it's not the last ship, obviously. Great series, by the way, for those that have never seen that one. One thing that actually did piss me off about that show at the very end of it was how they ended it. Or not how they ended it, but how they ended the one season of it. Because it was the chick who was the doctor lady. And it was like such a random, like unnecessary death, is what I'd call it, honestly. Like the way they took her out of that show. It's just such bullshit, man. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day here, and we will be back, like I said, at some point this coming week. I'm not exactly sure when. I'm not gonna give exact dates right now because I'm not exactly sure myself, honestly. It really depends on exactly what I have to do here in the house and if I have time to film anything or not. If I do, I'll obviously be back for this coming week and stuff like that for the regular shows. I'm gonna try to do the regular shows for at least an hour this week, though. But again, it all is dependent upon if I can, get stuff done and have like stuff done in a timely manner. Because the thing right now is I should have been obviously sitting here this whole time doing like yanking stuff over here and like wiping shit off and throwing it in bags / boxes, and I didn't do that, obviously. Which, if I could do that, I will do that later. But I didn't get a chance to do it today, is what it was. So, I was mostly just here eating, is what it was. So, I'm not sure if that's my cousin I'm hearing at the back door right now or not. He doesn't knock yet if it is him, though. It might just be some part of the house settling again. I don't fucking know, man. It's hard to tell anymore. There's so much shit in this house anymore, man. I'll tell you what. It's just fucking everywhere. So, Lordy. Yeah, it's just like everything is everywhere anymore, and it's like just such a pain in the dick, honestly, to get to it. So, anyways, but yeah, we are. It's only a matter of time, though, right now before I have to leave the house, is what it is, and I'm not sure exactly when it'll be. Hopefully, it's not anytime very soon, but if I do find that out and I have to do like I will do one last stream from the house, obviously, where I'll just be like, "Hey, final stream from the original location or whatever the case be, or something like that. Is what I'll call the stream then, or something." And then we'll have like a send off. Here's what it is, and sort of a toast to mom and whatnot, and 70 plus years of her being in this house, and then 30 something years of me being in the house, which it would have been 39, but of course I left to go to college for a couple of years there and found out what major city living is like and how much of a fucking nightmare it actually is. And God, I wish I had never left there, dude, because it was just such a fucking shit show. Like, well, the thing is, truthfully, obviously, if I had known I was autistic at the time, I would have never gone to college then. Because I'm realizing now, like, just what a scam it was and how much money I'm in debt right now to these fuckers. And obviously, with mom's eventual inheritance from the house, I could pay them off to the principal of the thing. I don't want to pay off the whole thing, is what it is with all that interest, though. Because well, first of all, I'm not paying all that fucking interest on the whole thing, dude. Because they can fuck off on that shit when it's like 1.5 times what it fucking was for the principal. They can fuck themselves. I'm not paying that almost $15,000 in interest to these assholes. I'll pay the fucking principal, and that's about it, honestly. And that would leave me, if I get, $30K out of this place, it'll be $20K I could basically live on then for X amount of time. That's what it'll be then. So, which would be me trying to budget my ass off then to make sure I had enough every time to pay, rent and then fucking food and everything else like that, which I think in some cases I'll probably end up going to food banks and shit in the near future, depending on how things happen. Or if I can get disability, it won't be such a big problem because I can just get on food stamps then too on that one. So, and that'll be, a couple $100 probably coming in a month. That's my guess, honestly. So that won't be too big of an issue then. Like that'd be able to cover me for at least a few weeks anyway. Like I might still have to supplement with food bank or whatever here and there, but like I could probably make that money stretch with one person knows what it is though, depending on where I'm going to get stuff. But at the same time, it's like having to rely on that stuff is also fucking ridiculous because again, it's not like you should have to, because it's like, again, these fuckers literally took out my mother. The least they could do for me is give me some fucking assistance at this point, honestly, dude. But who's to say if that's going to happen or not? But anyway. For those wondering if I'm bitter or not, yes, I fucking am. And I really want to get my revenge on these people right now for everything I did to my family. And will continue to do to my family in the future. And if I can, I will. And it'll be just like the Alex Jones Eat the Neighbors fucking rant, dude. But for real this time. But just for the lawyers out there, I'm kidding around. Maybe. So. But nah, seriously, if it was something like that, I don't know if I'd even want to eat those people because of the fact it's like, you never know, there might be some tainted meat there, man. They take their own shit is what it is then. So. It's like that episode of Walking Dead where they're just like spitting out Bob's leg and they're like, tainted meat! So. Actually, that was a joke somebody made the other day about Jones and the memes and stuff like that. It was because of all the stuff people have taken now or whatever. And it's like when you're going to eat your neighbors, but they're like all contaminated now or whatever then. So it was kind of messed up, but it was also kind of hilarious at the same time because it is so true, man. And I think some people got hoodwinked and they don't realize that they've been hoodwinked at this point. And it's just sad to see that because we could have been such a better country right now if it wasn't for that shit and the fear mongering, the media and everything else like that. But of course they got their way and they should all be on trial for Nuremberg stuff, dude, because they have destroyed the future of this country so much that it's not even funny. And for them to just be able to walk away is bullshit. So, anyway. But, like I said, they'll all be back here at some point in the near future for something. Not exactly sure what yet. Some sort of a stream. Again, not even 100% what I'm going to have it be, though, but it'll be a stream, though. That's for sure. And most likely it'll be Honda's chat later tonight then for at least a couple of hours, as long as he does one, like I said. It all depends on him, if he's awake and alert enough to do one then or not. Usually he is, but then again, there's also some times where if he works the previous day, he's just been so exhausted, he's not going to end up doing it or whatever then. He just never informs us what it is then. It's like, I'm sitting there waiting around for a link, see his thing go, green to yellow or whatever the case be, or green to whatever it is there. And then it's like later on he'll come back on and it's not doing. It's like, dude, you could have still done one then for like an hour or something. So I don't know. It's up to him if he wants to do it tonight though. But like I said, I'm hoping he does, but only time will tell if he actually does or not. So we'll wait and see, and hopefully he'll drop us a link here in a few hours then if that be the case, and we can go on and bullshit with the boys then and discuss some, various topics of the day and whatnot, and figure out what's going on with the country currently and all the fuckery that's going to come down the pipe and everything like that in the near future, and see how ready everybody really is what it is right now, because I think some of us are very much ready, and I think some of us are almost there, and I think there's a whole nother set of people who are not there at all right now. And I think it's the people who are not there at all right now are the ones who are going to be in real deep shit when stuff does start going down. So, unfortunately for them, they're going to be the ones who get sort of left in the wake, I guess is what you say best, because when it's all said and done and things start, going south or popping off or whatever, it's going to be those people that are going to be the ones who are going to be, your friends, your neighbors, your confidants, etc., who, you tried to explain to them, like, yeah, man, like, you need to be prepared for this kind of shit, and they weren't. And then they wonder, they're looking at you like, oh, you should give me whatever then. And it's like, bro, like, I told you to fucking do this shit and you didn't listen, kind of thing. So why would I give you anything? So, and unfortunately, that's going to be the whole marauder type at that point then. And it's going to be, some dude that used to be your fucking dentist, some chick who used to be your fucking accountant, whatever the case be types. Some fucking 18, 19-year-old little commie college kid is going to be one of these fucking people. And hell, they might be the first one eating among the fucking groups is what it is then, man. So, who knows? But I think only time will tell on that one. And I think it'll be very telling depending on who eats each other at that point then. And who actually will resort to cannibalism and how quick they will resort to cannibalism and stuff like that. Versus the rest of us who might have some stuff behind and, be able to get ahead and forge our own paths for a while and whatnot and not have to deal with that kind of bullshit. Because really it's going to be a mix between survival of the fittest and who can actually get to an end point to make society whole again, kind of thing. And, I don't know about y'all, man, but I don't want to be the people that are going to be, looked down upon because you had to do like some real fucked up shit before that. Like maybe you didn't want to do that thing, but you had to do that thing because people want to be a bunch of asshole kind of things is what it is, And unfortunately for you, like now people are shunning you, down like 4 or 5 years down the road because they're like, oh yeah, that's one of them kind of thing or whatever the case being. It's because that person, decided to go the whole long pig thing. But, sometimes it might not be choices what it is, dude. It might just be that's the only thing you have left. So, anyways, that being said, though, I don't know what will actually happen. I don't know what will become of this earth. I'm hoping for the best. I'm preparing for the worst. And I'm hoping at some point down the line we can actually become a functioning society again. But again, it all depends. It all depends on what happens right now. It all depends on, the people that are in power currently, if they're going to actually, make this a better place or turn us even worse is what it is, which it looks like right now. Pieces of shit like Nancy Pelosi are trying to do just that with what it is. By pushing all this BS lies and rhetoric and crap about Trump instead of actually trying to make the country a better place overall by just fucking removing himself from office at this point, dude, and being like, okay, I resign. Like, later, y'all. Like, honestly, truthfully, like, that's what Pelosi could do right now to make this country a better nation, dude, is just resign her stupid fucking cunt ass from office. And from there, we just become a better country because her dumbass is no longer part of the fucking problem. She's actually been part of the solution because she's taken herself out of the fucking running is what it is then. So, but that's the problem with these people that are the old hordes of our society. They want to just fucking have their cake and eat it too. And it's hard for them to, give up that position of power when they know it's going to be, there's going to be a decrepit old fuck at the end of the day then when they're not in that position of power anymore. Not that they're not already decrepit old fuck with dementia to begin with, but, that's besides the point. So, anyway, but yeah, they're just complete fucking scum, dude. They are the worst people on earth right now. And hopefully they'll all get their comeuppance pretty soon is what it is. Just across the board, because if that be the case, like I think they will. If April 8th shows us anything, hopefully it'll be the rising of angelic energy in this country and godly energy and stuff like that. And you will have a lot of demonic shit just taken out and dealt with, is what it is then, by, you know, the Lord's angels and stuff like that, so it'll be there. So, but again, only time will tell if that actually happens or not. My fingers are crossed on that one that it does, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be something between that and the darkness, honestly. It's like that episode of Supernatural where the darkness becomes a thing, is what it is there. And I think that's what we'll end up seeing then, is it'll be something like that, where it'll be, you know, a darkness taking over and just never releasing us from its, you know, grasp, I guess is what the best thing to describe would be there. So I don't know. Hopefully not, though. But yeah, if that does happen, I will say this right now. It's been real, y'all. It really has. It's I've done these for years now, and I think we are to a point right now where things are at the weirdest point in time in history where they've ever been. Almost nobody knows what's really going to happen going forward. And I think we're all in for some really dark times ahead right now. And I don't want to be that guy that, you know, gets caught with my fucking pants down, unprepared for anything and everything. Because I think that's what everybody's prepared for now, is anything and everything. Because anything and everything is on the table right now. Just because of what's happening currently. Just because you have people, you know, saber rattling and fucking doing all kinds of dumbass, retarded bullshit and talking about fucking EMP attacks and trying to fucking, you know, destroy our nation, everything else like that. And it's like, meanwhile, they're some of the biggest, worst pieces of crap on earth right now. So, and they might not be human anymore, dude. They might just be completely demonic right now. So, there is that. But anyway, like I said, the only time will tell if they actually get their comeuppance or not. And if they do, good. If they don't, yeah, I guess we just keep going is what it is, dude, and hope for the best then. And hope we can live, you know, one more day or whatever the case be under these fucking piece of shit tyrants' rules, what it is then. So, anyways. But on that note, it is about 20 to 4 right now. I am getting very tired and I don't feel very well. And I actually getting kind of cold in here too. And I'm looking at the temperature. My hands are getting really chilly right now. I just realized it's like 40 something outside. So I think nothing keeping my head warm is the hat right now. So, because my fingertips are fucking super freezy right now. So my plan currently is I'm going to end this stream, go grab the remote from the bedroom, flip on this heater and get it a little warm in here again. And then most likely I'm going to put on a one of the blankets then, and probably take this one right here behind me and throw it over my sleeves, or over my shoulders. I mean, do it like a sleeve shirt, basically, almost. And then from there, I'm probably gonna start grabbing some stuff down here and whatnot, or maybe I'll just say fuck it for the rest of the day and maybe just try to clean off some of this table or whatever the case be, and then wait for my cousin to come then while I'm doing that or whatever then. So I don't know. I know I need to get stuff done, but I'm just, oh my god, bro, I'm so exhausted right now. Like I'm actually surprised I'm still awake right now, even speaking, because I'm so fucking tired. So maybe I just need a nap, is what it is, for like a half hour to an hour or something like that, and just, you know, wake up refreshed. Then is what it'll be. So maybe I'll try to do that if that be the case then, and wait for my cousin to come. If nothing else, I hear him knocking on the door, and I just wake up out of a sleep then, and then let him inside then. So anyway, but yeah, that being said, though, it's been an interesting one. We have gone to a lot of weird places in our country's history, and I think we're only going to go to weirder places in this coming year right now. And it's really simple as that now. I think that's probably him calling me right now. No, it's my sister calling me. So. All right, that was my sister calling me back. I thought she was calling because maybe she was watching the stream and got pissed or something. But nah, she was busy doing work at her place now and realized that she had forgotten to grab me something yesterday, I guess, from the store that she was going to get. So, which it doesn't really matter to me, honestly. I'm not planning on using any of that shit anyway anytime soon. So, it's really semantics. But anyway, but yeah, she, like I said, she's going to be up here again sometime in next, like a week and a half from now is what it is, give or take. And then we'll be doing some things there is what it is then after that and figuring some shit out then. And then from then we'll be getting all of mom's stuff out of the house is what it is then, and then going from there basically. So, and I assume it'll be pretty much how it is right now, except, most of the shit will be done then, and then we'll have everything, ready to roll. That's what it'll be. So, and from there, it'll just be, us waiting to have the appraisal come through and eventually put the house, figure out what they want to appraise it for and, figure out what the land's worth, everything like else like that. And then, put it on the market is what it is. And if we get a nab pretty quick, we get a nab pretty quick. And then I just find some place to live really quick after that. And then, bing, bang, boom, I'm out of the house and a new place of my own, and then doing streams from someplace else. If that'll be the case. And then, yeah, it'll be me just, living on whatever then from the house sale. And hopefully by that point, my disability comes through and won't be an issue at all because I'll be living on a mix of the two then if that be the case. So, but yeah, only time will tell right now. I don't know, man. It really depends. I think we are, like I said, heading for some really interesting times in this nation. And I think we're also heading for a really, really weird time ahead right now to where hopefully things will get better, but I don't know if they will, honestly. Like, I want to be serious about that. I don't think they will. And I hate to say that, but I think we have to talk about that truthfully, man. Like, I would love to say I'm hoping everything goes better and hopefully everything goes well and stuff like that, but when it's all said and done, I don't think it will. I think we are heading towards a really fucked up time in this country's history. And I believe that we are definitely heading towards a time where legitimately you're going to see people eating each other. I hate to say that, but I believe it to be the case. And if that is the case, it's been fun knowing y'all because I don't think any of us are going to know until it happens if we have to go down that road or not ourselves. I don't personally plan on going down that road if I don't have to. But again, I'm also not going to starve to death, is what it is. So if it becomes a thing of like, hey, die of starvation, or, hey, like somebody died from whatever cause, and like they're not, they're fine to eat or whatever the case be, then like here's some meat kind of thing or whatever the case, or it could be untouchable cannibalism for that matter, like the Venezuela people were, where it was them going out there and they were just hungry and they were getting what they thought was soup or something off the street from some dude. And it turned out that guy was like literally fucking taking people out back, beating their fucking heads in, and then just chopping their ass up into this fucking soup/stew stuff is what it was, dude. So, yeah. Like if you're hungry enough, you don't really question the meat, man. Like that's the thing. And that's the truth of the matter. I mean, it might end up becoming Cannibal Monday in this country, honestly, dude. Because again, we live into that thin veil of civility right now. People don't realize that, man. It's so thin, and then when that thin veil finally breaks, dude, it's gonna be hell on fucking earth at that point. Like you're not gonna know what true crazy shit looks like until you see Americans fucking go nuts then. And when that happens, oh my god, bro, like the gloves are fucking off. The mask is off. It's all off. And people like Nancy Pelosi want to talk about bloodbaths and stuff like that, dude, and it's gonna be like, yeah, lady, you're gonna have your entire supporter base fucking munching on your old dumbass. So it ain't gonna be a bunch of conservatives eating your old ass, lady. It's gonna be a bunch of fucking leftist cuck Antifa types that are gonna be munching you down, lady. So hell, they'll probably get drunk off the first bite would be my guess. So she really is a fucking lush, dude. Like she is the worst kind of lush. I don't understand how that's not a disqualification from office, by the way, being a fucking drunkard like that. Like that's one thing I never really got, honestly. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get a band for this hat because I think it was supposed to have a band around it, honestly. Because I know the other one does. I'm gonna see if I can find a band that I can put around this hat or something, maybe later on or something. Make it kind of a bat, like make it like a because I know it's like a black hat. Maybe get like a white band for it or something like that, or maybe get like I don't know, like a brown band or something. I'm not sure right now. If I want to go brown, if I want to go white. I'm thinking honestly go white because then it would be like black on white kind of stuff or white on black. Then that'd be pretty cool. So then of course if I was able to find a white hat like this, I would buy that up and do like a black band on it then because it'd be like black on white then. And that also looks pretty badass. And actually, now that I think about it, I think my brother and sister were kind of right. This is more of like a falconer's hat than it is a cowboy hat. So, especially with the way it like tilts down like that weirdly, I think that's just from somebody like fucking with it or like getting shit knocked on it or whatever. But that's cool though. It works out well because it kind of does like the one eye down a little bit, where you can be like, ma'am. So, anyway, but yeah, I also got the other one in the bedroom there that I think that one actually in the bedroom needs washed out because I realized when I was wearing it the other day, it felt like very itchy. So I don't know if somebody else had it on their head that had like something. So I'm gonna have to like take a little like scrub brush or something like that and wash that shit out or something like that maybe. I have some stuff in the bedroom that's it's like a soap stuff you put on because it's from the hospital and shit. And it's basically like a dry bath almost. And I'm thinking maybe that might work on that, where you just like put that on there and just like, because there's no water, obviously, it's just like the soapy stuff, and just like scrub around like the hat, the inside the room of the hat or whatever the case be, and see if that helps or not. So, but yeah, I'll figure it out though, and go from there basically. But yeah, other than that though, it's been interesting. I think we're gonna have some interesting times ahead. I am looking kind of forward to what's going on right now with our nation currently when it comes to April 8th then, and see if that actually will become, the day of destiny essentially, which I'm kind of hoping it doesn't, but at the same time I also hope it does, just so I don't have to leave the house as what it is then. But at the same time, if it does that whole thing, like I'm kind of fucked then because meds I have to take, I'm not going to have on hand then. So unless I could get something right now is what it would be then. So anyway, but yeah. Plus, if it's like super like shitty or whatever the case be, and you have it becoming like snowstorm central or whatever around that time or whatever, then and you just have like the cold take over and nobody's got power or whatever, then you're just kind of fucked is what it is. That's why I'm actually surprised by when it comes to that show Revolution, with the way that they showed that with all the planes and stuff going down and when the grid falls or whatever then. Which actually I didn't even think about that until now, but that is another scary ass thing to think about, is the whole like planes going down kind of thing in the sky and shit like that. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, I hate to think about being underneath that kind of crap in anywhere. Yeah, you just be in your fucking home at that point, you just get fucking murked out by a plane coming out of the fucking sky because it just stopped working mid-flight. Jesus. That'd be a freaky thought to have. Or a freaky scenario to have happen to you is what it is then. But anyway, at the same time, though, it's like, yeah, man, like, I don't want to be in that kind of situation where I got to worry about that shit, obviously. So, yeah, hopefully people can crash land those motherfuckers elsewhere if that be the case then. Where it's more major cities and not, fucking rural areas or whatever then. That take the brunt of that crap. So, anyway, but, yeah, only time will tell to see exactly what happens in our nation, but like I said, I don't look forward to any of it. Bad stuff coming down the pipe, because I think there's going to be a lot of bad stuff coming down the pipe right now. And my plan right now is to go vote on Tuesday and be ready for anything to happen on the 8th. And that includes having every gun I own be chambered that day, which that's something to say right now, because that would be the first time in history I'd ever have every single gun in my house that would be loaded with one in the chamber then. Like, obviously, they're always loaded, but they're almost always not loaded with one in the chamber, except for, like, one gun. Or, like, two. I don't think I think it's more like two guns, actually, because I have my... I always have at least one of my handguns loaded, if not more than one handgun loaded. And then it's always my shotgun is usually loaded with one in the chamber then. So, but yeah, if it came to a thing where it's going to be, total grid down and shit like that possibility, like, nah, I'll just load everything that day then and say fuck it for the day. Oh my God, holy shit. Damn, I don't know if I can find it out in the back behind me or not here. I think that is snow coming down right now. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me go ahead and get a better view here. If that'll come through. No, I don't think it's coming through or not. Yeah, it just came that way, like real fuck. You can see it over there, like real crazy too, for that matter, right now. See if I can take a picture from here and see if I can get it rolling. Oh no, it just stopped. I'm not sure if that was hail or if it was like some kind of crazy snow or something. That was fucking wild though, man. That was real nuts. Yeah, it's still doing something outside right now. Can't tell what though. The way it sounded almost sounded like hail coming down, but I don't know. Let me check out the yard there. I don't see nothing coming. If it is coming down, that's still warm enough outside to where it's not going to be whatchamacalling then. So sticking to the ground then. So that might be what the issue is right now. But yeah, unfortunately, my cousin didn't get here fast enough then. Oh man, I just realized that. That really sucks ass now. Fuck. Yeah, we had a bunch. I knew we should have put that shit in the garage, honestly, for the time being. There's a bunch of trash bags sitting outside right now that didn't get a chance to get in our trash this week because of all the shit that's in the house. What it is there. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of trash bags outside now that are getting wet or crap on them or whatever the case be now. And it's like, yeah, it's going to be nasty getting those out of there in the next couple of days then. Damn. I mean, thankfully the trash comes tomorrow, so I can just take those bags and just chuck them into the fucking can immediately then after that then. like Monday night, Tuesday morning, someplace in there. But at the same time, it's like worrying about whatever the fuck this is coming down on top of this shit now. Which I can't tell if it's rain or not, though. I'm going to go check for a sec, and I'll be back in a minute, because I do want to see exactly what this is, honestly, from a different perspective, which is going to be the one out there in the living or the kitchen area. So... Oh no, it's just rain. Okay, it's just legit rain. So it's like rain, probably like sleet actually that was coming down. Then if that be the case, that would make sense. Yeah, that would make total sense if it was sleet that was coming down. Then potentially super hard like that. But anyway, since I'm up anyway, turn that heater on from here. Actually, while we're doing that, we're gonna try to keep it a little bit warmer in this room then as well by simply closing that curtain. Unfortunately, that's the thing about the house right now, is it does get very cold like that. So anyway, but yeah, so I think I'm basically going to call it a day then here in a minute. So since we're over 3 hours in now, I thought this was going to be like a 30-minute stream, honestly, but it wasn't. So I'm almost shocked my cousin hasn't come out yet, but then again, maybe he got distracted by something else then. Who knows? It would have been nice if you had given me a call and been like, hey, I'm not going to be able to come out today or whatever. Then it's like, okay, fine. Like, instead of just being like, you know, oh, I'm going to be out a little bit later. And then it's like 4 hours later, you're still not here. So, you know. Anyway. He's supposed to be giving me a ride at the polls on Tuesday afternoon/evening. So I don't know if I'll. I don't know, man. It might just be something where I say fuck it and just go. My uncle and I are supposed to hang out tomorrow, so I might just go out with him then and just go to the fucking Board of Elections or something like that and just vote there early or something like that for like the last day early voting or something. And that we don't got to worry about it on Tuesday at all then, so. And then I can also get a lottery ticket tomorrow too, for that matter, for Tuesday's drawing. I don't know. I'd honestly rather vote in person on the date, though, just because it's like, it's nice to be able to say that, you know? Be like, yeah, I voted on election day for this candidate or that candidate or whatever the case be not. Hey, I voted like a day early for this person. So. Plus, I'd like to be able to do stuff tomorrow as well when it comes to, you know, various shit for the day, when it comes to actually being able to clean this place up and whatnot, and have a little bit of ability to do that, is what it is then. So I don't know, man. I'll tell you what's a good movie though. The World's End. People were claiming that it wasn't a trilogy when it clearly was, though, because it's the Cornetto trilogy, which would be those weird ass ice cream bar things that have like the nuts and the chocolate fudge on the top of them. And yeah, that was an interesting movie all the way around, though. It actually would explain a lot too for our technology currently, and it would just be the actual network itself and control like the aliens or whatever from outer space and shit like that have taken over like certain places or whatever then, and started assimilating people and shit. So who knows? Wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Maybe that actually that would explain Biden quite a bit. Now I'm thinking about it, if he was like taken over by some fucking alien race and just like replaced with like a blank or whatever. So he's all dementia all the time because he doesn't know what the fuck, or not only dementia out, but he's like just like out of it all the time because he has no idea where the fuck he is because he's like a robot and shit or whatever. So Although to be fair, dementia also would explain a lot of it too, for that matter, because especially when he's having people got him everywhere, then, and it really just shows how pathetic this country is that we're allowing this scumbag to remain in office. And then we know he's fucking cheated his way into power. So, and that's more on the feds at this point than anybody else, dude. They're allowing this fucker to remain in power when he's clearly committing high treason every single day of his fake ass administration is what it is there. So, and yeah, I think American people are going to put up with this for much longer is what it is, man, because when we can't afford to eat, when we can't afford to pay rent because of all the fucking illegals you keep letting in our goddamn country, asshole, like, it's only a matter of time before you get tried with high treason, fucker. So, anyway. But, yeah, on that note, I think we're going to call it a day then. And, like I said, about 6 hours from now, give or take, we should be back with Honda and them on Honda's chat for the Gay Frog chat tonight. Depends on when he actually starts it, though, because it might be 10, it might be 10:15, it might be 10:30, honestly, but it should be sometime around there, though, in that range of time. I have no fucking clue, man. He doesn't tell me. Like, there's been times where I've literally been sitting in the back chat, like, waiting for this motherfucker to show up, and it's like 30 minutes later, he fucking shows up, and it's like, oh, sorry, guys. It's like, yeah, you should be. So... I'm kidding, obviously, about, it's a joke, But no, seriously, though, he has me this wait in the back chat for quite a while when he's not been there, so. But then again, he also is a father. He has kids that have, work duties and stuff like that. He's been picking them up from work is what it is there. So it makes sense for him to be a little late here and there is what it is then. He was busy picking them up from their job or whatever it is then. So... Because, that's the thing. Family should always come first, man. Streams are second. Everything else, secondarily is what it is there. So, no need to, apologize for rudeness, lateness, all that stuff like that when you're trying to do your due diligence as a dad is what it is then. So, but anyway. That being said, though, this is for real the last time I'm going to say anything because it is about that time to get going. And like I said, one thing I will leave you guys off with, though, is that we are definitely heading for a fucked up time in this country's history. And if you're not prepared, you have a little bit of time to get prepared right now, and you should do that, because if you're not doing that and you're not actively in a situation where you are getting things that could help you survive a potential blackout, power outage, whatever the case be, long-term grid down, long-term, no internet, no water, no food, nothing working, any of that stuff like that. Now is the time to be able to do stuff, to have something in the back that you could actually do things correctly and be able to benefit both yourself and those around you, whether they be your family, whether they be your friends, whether they be your neighbors, be that community, etc. Don't be the people that are going to prey upon each other when times get tough. Be the people that come together and help each other out now and know exactly who can be trusted if something does happen. So that way you can actually have a real grasp on exactly who is where, what is where. Of course, Ohio weather. We literally had a fucking rainstorm fucking 10 minutes ago, if that be the case, whatever it was. Now it's getting sunny out again. Like, Jesus. And honestly, it looks like outside right now, it looks dank as fuck. Like, it's like the middle of the fucking thing where it's like the eye of the storm shit where it's going to just get dark again like another 10, 15 minutes down the road and it's going to be storming again then. So, yeah. Just crazy shit, man. Like, we have the craziest fucking weather in this state, I swear to God, bro. And it's been like this all my life, and I never understood it because it can't be. It's not understandable. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you have like, hell, I remember there was and it's funny because I was making jokes years ago. I was in Columbus. Actually, there was a woman that was with her kid because they were at I was at the convention center for a magic event, and then I think it was like a GP or something, or PTQ or something like that's what it was. And there was a woman and her daughter there, and the daughter was part of a cheerleading troop or whatever there. And the woman is like, "Oh man, it's all rainy outside," or whatever the case be. And I was like, "It's Ohio. Wait 10 minutes and it'll be clearing up again." And sure enough, like 10, 15 minutes later, it was all good to go then. And she was able to run outside and get what she needed to get then. And then it's funny because then on the way back, it literally started fucking snowing. And you saw her like running forward towards us and towards the building. And there's just like snow like coming down around her and stuff like that. And it's like, Jesus, man. And it's like, yeah, it's Ohio weather, man. Like it changes on a damn dime like that. So, but yeah, it's just funny like that. You know, like I said, it always has been because it's like, you never fucking know. You never know what's going to happen until it happens. And when it does happen, then you're like, oh shit, man, like that's fucked up. So, anyways. But yeah, there's I really think it's only a matter of time before things start to go into a really weird spiral, though. And I think when they do, people are going to figure out very quickly, again, like I said, who is friend, who is foe. And some people you thought were friends may become foes. Some people you thought were foes may become friends, honestly. It really all depends. And if you can trust some people, you know, and you can at least have a small core group to be trustworthy with you and your area and stuff like that, that's all it needs to be, man. It's best to trust a few, not trust a ton, honestly. Like I'd rather have 5 good people in a core group with me than 50 people who I'm side-eyeing the entire fucking time because I don't know if they're going to stab me in my back to take something out of my mouth when I'm trying to eat food or whatever that night. You know? Or it's like that guy where they, you know, it's like the old West kind of shit where it's like, you know, you think you're going to be partners or whatever in some gold venture, and then this motherfucker like cracks you over the back of the head with a fucking oar and tries to take everything and kick you off the boat then. So, but eventually gets theirs because they end up dying in that whole thing because they try to take the gold off the boat or whatever then, and then it turns out that they're it top heavies their ass and, you know, knocks them under themselves what it is there. So that would be a horrible way to die, by the way. I'm just going to point that one out, which is how I'm trying to think what that guy's name was offhand. Skeet Ulrich played in the show years ago. It was a mini series about the old West and stuff. Into the West is what it was called, actually. And yeah, it was his character going in there and doing like some gold shit or whatever, and then quite literally gets knocked into the fucking drink with a big old hunk of gold that just crushes him underneath the water is what it is then, and drowns his ass. Yeah, like I said, horrible way to go, man. Horrible way to go, but really interesting storytelling though, for sure, because I guarantee somebody did die like that, honestly, back in the day. So anyway, but yeah, that was a pretty good miniseries overall. Because essentially it was like, I think 4 generations of the same family or something like that. So, and of course it had a bunch of like rising stars at that time, like Tyler Christopher, who's now dead. I'm trying to think who else was in that one. Christian Kane, the guy from okay, what the fuck is that show called? He was in a couple shows actually. He was in Angel back in the day as I forget what the guy's name is offhand. And then he was the one that brought Darla back to life, if I'm not mistaken, in that series. And then it was he was in the Caper show where he was they worked to get people's stuff back that was stolen from them or whatever. Can't remember the name of this offhand. I forget what channel did that. I think maybe it was CW or something. It wasn't a bad show, but it was one of those ones that's like you forget the fucking name of it. It was what it was though. It had the one black dude in it from I think Supernatural, if I'm not mistaken, that Hodge guy. And then it was trying to remember who the main dude was. I think you guys know the show I'm talking about, but anyway, it doesn't matter honestly. But yeah, it's a pretty good show, and he's been a mainstay though in Hollywood for like years now. Is what it is, and yeah, Christian Kane's a pretty good actor, like B-C list actor guy is what it is there, and there's others that are probably better than him honestly, but at the same time, it's like he's one of the better ones that I can think of that is just all around like could be pretty big badass and stuff like that, or if you need somebody to be like whatever, then he could be that guy. Actually, he would be a decent guy to be like a lead for like a Walking Dead spinoff or something like that. Or even like a secondary character for like a Walking Dead spinoff or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see what happens with that one though. But like I said, that guy's an interesting dude though. He is an interesting character. He's an interesting actor. He portrays some interesting characters. And yeah, in that particular Into the West series, he was the, I believe, teenage son of the main guy, is what it was. And then he ended up, I think he never saw his father again after he was like 10 years old or something like that in that show, which is pretty sad actually. And I want to say, actually, now I think about it, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was him or was the guy that played his brother in that show, but one of the two. The younger version of them was actually the guy that became Scott in the Teen Wolf MTV series. That Tyler, what's his face? So, yeah, like I said, there was a lot of upcoming actors in that series, dude. So, anyway. But now that we're almost 3 hours and 20 minutes into this, though, and I'm starting to warm up now because my hands are not freezing because I got the heater on over there. And it is about still 43 degrees outside. But, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take a short siesta momentarily and do what needs to be done here is what it is before reset in a few hours. So, and at the same time, I'm going to try to, do some stuff when I get up later on. Then is what it'll be. And yeah, hopefully have a good one with Honda and them tonight. And we can have a interesting conversation about conspiracy stuff and how the chemicals in the water are turning the freaking frogs gay. Which is true, by the way, and it's not just the frogs either, for that matter. It's all the people out here that are gay. It seems like anymore, dude. It's all that atrazine shit. So, anyway, if anybody ever tries to tell you talk shit on that one, dude, just be like, nope, that motherfucker was right again. Just like he was right about the cannibalism shit, dude. When you got Haitian gangs eating people now, man. So, and it turns out he was also right about the human-animal hybrid stuff, too, for that matter. Because that shit's come to light now. The only thing he hasn't gotten right, technically speaking, will be the chimera stuff, is what it is right now. Which even that can be, sort of like, nah, he's pretty close on that one. So, kind of deal now. But anyway. But yeah, like I said, only time will tell. It all depends on what's to come right now and, who's to do what and what's to do who and, whippity-dippity-doo and all that shit like that. Actually, I know one thing Matt was talking about last night in his Geek Fusion chat was how that movie Snowpiercer and the TV series of the same name are apparently supposed to be a sequel to Willy Wonka. And I guess there's like an interesting theory about that here on YouTube. So, the specifically the movie Snowpiercer is supposed to be the guy that was I can't remember the guy's name offhand, but he was supposed to be like a grown up Charlie or whatever then, which actually makes sense given the fact that you have all that stuff there is what it is, and yeah, it actually does. There actually is some credence to it, is what it is, and it's interesting when you look into it and stuff because it's like. That's pretty fascinating stuff, man. Like, that's pretty weird shit, honestly. But at the same time, it's, like, really, really interesting stuff, too, for that matter. So, but yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before, like, something like that may actually really happen in this country, though, because people fucking around with the weather like crazy and just a manipulation of everything anymore, it seems like. And, yeah, shit's about to get fucking crazy, man. And I think it's not going to be for the better at all. And I think you're going to see a lot of bad shit happen in a very quick, short amount of time is what it'll be. And when that does start to pop, it's going to be when you're going to start to see some real bad stuff coming down the pipeline then. And it's only going to be then that people are going to finally wake up and be like, oh, fuck, I should totally repent now kind of thing. And at that point, it might be too late already. At that point, it might already be Jesus coming down and Gabriel's trumpet blowing and stuff like that. And everything going, you know, sideways is what it is. And it's best now to just already be on God's good side is what it is, man. Because, you know, why would you want to be part of the pure evil side when they don't provide nothing for you and just want to kill you is what it is at the end of the day? Makes no sense to me at all. So I've always been a very much God-fearing man, and, you know, I tried to go as close to Christ as I could be is what it is. Even being forced as a kid, obviously, but then, you know, rebelling against the church and stuff like that as an adult, and then sort of re-guiding myself back to the light is what it is, though, over the last few years now. And it's like, just because you don't go to church, just because you don't, you know, go to houses of worship and worship inside of them doesn't mean you're not, you know, on a spiritual level with God is what it is, man. So it's really that simple. And I believe, honestly, he's in our hearts right now. I believe he's here with a lot of us, dude. And I think, unfortunately, you know, there is times people get taken too soon, and there's times people don't get taken fast enough. And, you know, it's kind of like that that movie, Grumpy Old Men, where the old guy, Burgess Meredith, is talking about, you know, sometimes I think God forgot about me. And that got to me last week because I was watching that movie. Got to me real bad. It got me thinking about Mom and Dad, too, for that matter, because they both went way too early. They went way too quick. They had a lot of years left in them. I know Mom had at least another decade left in her on this earth, and I know Dad had at least a good 20-something years left of him on this earth when he passed. So, and like I said before in this stream, I think there's an Earth out there, parallel universe out there where both of them are still alive, and I'm with them too right there, man. And maybe there's another one where it's, you know, I died early or whatever the case be, or I was never even born for that matter, possibly. And they're still very much together to this day. So, you know, I don't know. I would like to visit one of those Earths, though, is what it is, man, just to see, just to peeking on my variant self or whatever the case be, alternate, you know, reality self, if that'd be the case then. So, anyway. But, yeah, I think, again, it's only a matter of time before we see the full ramifications of everything in this nation. And when we do, and around this earth for that matter, too, for that matter, and when that happens, people are going to wake up really quick, and they're going to be having their head spin when things start to go south, because they're not going to know what hit them is what it is at that point. And the ones of us that are ready, we're going to be the ones that are going to be destined to take over. We're going to be the meek that inherit this earth, honestly. So I believe it truly to be our destiny right now to take over and do what needs to be done to make this country and this world a better place right now. And it's only a matter of time before that happens right now. And that's exactly what they're so scared for. All these people, all the George Soros types of the world, all the fucking Klaus Schwab types of the world, all their fucking puppets like Pelosi and Waters and Schumer and McConnell, all these other fucking dickheads like that. They are shitting their fucking britches right now because they know that at some point they're just going to die. They're just going to die of old age. And the rest of us are going to be here to clean up their fucking mess is what it is, dude, that they left behind because they're such corrupt-ass scumbags. So, anyway. On that note, it's been a good one. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be carrying in the chamber. If you can, do a New York reload, baby, because sometimes now that it is 2024 and the possibility of riots and stuff, you may have to have 2 guns or even 3 guns on you because people are fucking nuts and you might have to, like, you know, inadvertently arm some fucking allies that aren't armed that day. So, you know, you never know if you have to pull a fucking gun off of an ankle holster and hand it to some person, or if you gotta pull a fucking, you know, gun out of a belly band or something like that and hand it to some dude or some chick, whatever the case be, that's now on your side and needs to be armed with you versus the horde. So, yeah, needless to say, it's better to have more than 1 gun on you, just in case, man. Or if you do just have the 1 gun, make sure you have a bunch of mags for it then and have enough ammo to actually, you know, fight your way out of something if something does happen. But anyway, like I said, that's pretty much it for the day, though. Have a good one. Stay safe. Be prepared and always be ready for anything and everything, because anything and everything is on the table this year and it will continue to be on the table this year. And if we get to the election cycle, maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know, but only time will tell. So have a good one, y'all. Later.